Komets now in the circle. Chris Winnis out in front. Between the circles with a backhand shot, and a big save there by Patrick Lane. Penalty coming up, and they score. Bouncing puck out in front, and it's going to be John LeBlanc who gets the goal. It was on a delayed penalty call. Patrick Lane made the first save, but LeBlanc pokes it in high into the net, and the Komets have taken the 1-0 lead.
Well, there again, the Komets driving to the net, and you've got to be strong in front of the net after your goaltender makes that first save. Here's the play. It's going to be a backhand shot, and Lalime makes the save, and it goes behind the net. There's a penalty being called right here. He reverses the play and comes back around. Patrick makes the one save, goes right over top of his shoulder.
John LeBlanc started the year with the Orlando Soda Bears. He's just scored his 32nd goal of the year. Winnis will draw an assist, and the Komets, even strength, have taken the 1-0 lead.
Again, a nice pass from behind the back of the net to find him, and LeBlanc put it right over Patrick's right shoulder.
The Lumberjacks with a 4-1-1 record in this season series against the Fort Wayne Komets. And the Lumberjacks have scored first in 4 of the games between the two teams this year. Now the Komets backing over the line. Andy McBain dumped it out in front, and Armstrong broke that up. They had a player out in front. Coming back into his own zone, Paul Jarrett plays it ahead. Ross Wilson turns at his own line. Got it free for Andy McBain. Here come the Komets again. McBain over the line. Top of the circle, dumped it to the side of the net, and Lalime covers that up with 2 players crashing into the net, and Drake Berehowski after the Fort Wayne player. And here we go, as Andy Bizo was the one tied up originally with Drake Berehowski.
Well, we talked about the Lumberjacks not wanting to get into the allocations with only 5 defensemen, and I think Fort Wayne knows this, of course, so they're driving to the net all the time and forcing the Lumberjacks to come at them, and this is exactly what's going to happen. The Lumberjacks got to stay cool because Fort Wayne knows they're down to 5 defensemen.
There's a look at it as Bizo was tied up with Patrick Lane. No penalties, I believe, are going to come out of this, and it's still even strength. I beg your pardon. Drake Berehowski's going to go in. So actually, it's Armstrong.
I'm not so sure. I agree with only one player getting the call here as the Fort Wayne Komets drove to the net. And of course, as a defenseman, you've got to go in and protect your goaltender.
9:19 is the time of the cross-checking penalty to Armstrong of the Lumberjacks, and so the Komets are going to get the first power play chance for them tonight. Look at Army in the box. We'll set up this Fort Wayne power play for you. Messier in behind the net. He's got Shafronov and Rob Murphy up front. Murphy in the corner. Got it to Shafronov. He kicked it to himself onto the far side. Watch there by Drake Berehowski. Laid it into the corner. Murphy gets there first. Let it come free. And they play it up the boards into the corner on the far side. Back out to the right point. Evans near his side. Comes free for Shafronov. Shafronov back to the line. Shafronov's got it again, top circle. Tries to go centering pass to Mitch Messier, and he fanned on that. Now Evans in from the right point. Bouncing puck off a skate, and it goes to the boards on the far side. Osborne with time to clear. He does. Get it by Kevin Workman all the way down the ice. And Fort Wayne out of their own zone. Les Kuntar almost gave it up. Jacks will change up. Lenny Berry comes to the bench with 1:12 left in the Armstrong penalty. Lead pass up ahead. It comes to Paul Willett. Willett on the move over the line, trying to get it to the left side. Drop pass at the line. Now Evans dumped it into the corner, intercepted by Krivchenkov, and Alexei throws it the length of the ice. And a minute gone in the Armstrong penalty. Scoreless tie early on. Actually, Fort Wayne has taken the 1-0 lead on the goal by John LeBlanc, his 32nd. They've got the 1-0 edge. Colin Chin over the line, dropped it there on the far side. LeBlanc with a shot and a save, and the bouncing puck out in front. Back to the line, Straub with another shot, and he scores. That went off the goal post on the near side, and I think it's going to be Straub's goal all the way, and the Komets have taken a 2-0 lead.
From the way the direction of the puck went in the net, I think it may have been deflected in front either by a Fort Wayne forward or by a Cleveland Lumberjack defenseman. And again, they're screening the goaltender. He's not getting a good look at the puck. Here's the shot. Chin is carrying the puck in over. You're going to see the play form right here. Gets the puck into the middle.
That's the initial save on LeBlanc. There's Straub with the shot, and I don't know.
Well, the way that Patrick moved his right.
It is going to be Straub. 5th of the year for Brian Straub. And the Komets have taken the 2-0 lead. Here comes Fort Wayne. Andy Bizo with a quick shot into the corner on the far side. Colin Chin and LeBlanc draw the assist. Now at the boards to the far side, it does come out. Straub's got to turn away from Fitzgerald. 2-0. The Komets have the lead. And the Lumberjacks digging themselves an early hole. Now here's Callender. He's got Fitzgerald with him. He couldn't get it to him. And it trickles in on goal, and Les Kumtar makes the save. 2-0. The Komets with the lead. We'll take a break. Back with more when we return in Fort Wayne on the Jacks Hockey Network.
There was a farmer
Had a dog and
Bingo
was his game. Oh,
B-I-N-G-O.
B-I-N-G-O.
B-I-N-G-O. Well, Bingo was his game.
Feeling lucky today? Play bingo from the Ohio Lottery. Just $2 for a chance to win up to 4 times on each ticket. Up to $10,000.
B-I-N-G-O.
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 Oh, and bingo was his game. Oh.
Play bingo today.
We've been with the same bank for years, and when we needed help, they turned down our home equity loan.
Just because we were late on a few credit card payments. Boy, were we disappointed.
Well, lucky for us, we heard about Cashback Mortgage. They showed us how to consolidate our bills, add an extra bathroom to our home, even save money.
Cashback Mortgage was there when we needed help.
Call Cashback Mortgage at 1-800-851-CASH and find out how we've helped thousands of homeowners for years. So stop worrying. We'll get you the money you need now.
Back on the Jacks Hockey Network, Tim Saunders along with Bob Whidden, the Jacks and the Fort Wayne Komets. It's 2-0, Fort Wayne with the lead. And the Lumberjacks, again, down by 2 early on, are going to have to come back in this one. Kids, sign up for the Sherwin-Williams Junior Lumberjack Contest. Win 4 tickets to a Jack game, plus help around the bench between periods. Sign up at any Sherwin-Williams store. Visit the Lumberjack display. Sherwin-Williams, America's place for pink. The face-off in the circle on the near side of the Fort Wayne zone. The Komets up by 2. Off the draw, Kevin Workman tied up along the boards on the near side. Fitzgerald unable to help out. It comes into the corner on the far side. Shafranov trying to stick handle around Callender. And now it comes up ahead at center ice to Wilson. Wilson gave it off on the right side. Rob Murphy trying to get it to Workman. Workman hit the side of the net with that. Now Alexei Kripchenkov off the boards trying to get it ahead to Callender. Callender's in over the line on the near side, pulled between the circles. On the right side, couldn't get the pass to McConaughey. McConaughey was tied up. And the Komets gain control, tip it to the line, but not out. Here's a quick shot by Fitzgerald and tipped in front by Dave McConaughey into the corner. Behind the net to Jock Callender. Callender's got Fitzgerald out in front between the circles at the side of the net. It was steered away, and the Komets gain control in their own zone. Can't get it out. Fitzgerald, a good play to knock that clearing attempt out. Back out to the right point. Quick shot, hit a skate. Loose puck near side, Armstrong. Armstrong hit the side of the goal with that. Rob Murphy poked that into the corner on the far side. Fitzgerald got there. Fitzgerald was bumped. And the Komets finally bang it all the way back into the Cleveland zone. And we're going to get an icing call against Fort Wayne with 7:39 left here in the opening period.
Good shift by Jock Callender's line. They had some good opportunities, some missed chances, but some good opportunities. They've got to keep moving that puck. They've got to keep moving it in. They've got to get it in deep. Fort Wayne will turn this puck over if the Lumberjacks can put pressure down low.
Paul Willett for the Fort Wayne Komets. Played 74 games for the Komets in 92-93. Won the team's unsung hero last season. Had 26 goals. 73 points in 80 games. Here's a look at Paul Willett.
For the most part, this is a very veteran hockey club. Good mixture.
And they're an independent, and the Independents are afforded that opportunity to kind of build up their own team. Out of the right point, Rick Burowski dumped it out in front of the net, intercepted by the Komets, and out they come. Guy Dupuis leads the charge. Got Messier up in front of him. Dupuis over the line with a shot, kicked away by Patrick Delane. Bouncing puck in the side of the net. LeBlanc had knocked it down. To the line, Sean Evans keeps it in. Near side circle. This is LeBlanc. He hit the goal post. Into the corner. The Lumberjacks clear that up the boards, but can't get it out. Still loose, and Jeff Christian turns away. Christian laid it over to Berehowski. Lead pass right side. Ryan Savoia. Savoia watched by Sean Evans. Savoia again to the side of the net. Bouncing puck in behind the goal. Guy Dupuis controls for the Komets. And Guy Dupuis in the circle plays it ahead. Now John LeBlanc hit a skate with that. That was Oleg Belov. And the Komets change up on the play. 6:45 to go in the opening period. 2-0 Komets with the early lead. And turning with it in his own zone, Straub. Up Eddie, got it to LeBlanc, tipped it free there. Andy Bizzo over the line. Drop pass, McBain, centering pass, and oh, what a save Patrick Lalime made on Andy Bizzo as he was set up for what would have been for Andy Bizzo. Well, he hasn't scored a lot this year. Would have been only his 11th goal of the year.
Well, he looked pretty good on that play. He made a good play at the blue line, made a good pass, drove for the net, Patrick was able to read the play. He came out and made a good save. Watch it, Biggio drive for the net. A little tip in right there, but Patrick's there to slop him right there.
Patrick has been fairly sharp in the early going despite the score, 2-0 Fort Wayne, and the shots even at this point, 7 aside. Patrick, we said, had gone without a win in 6 decisions, but now has won his last 3 in a row. Around the boards, Osborne failed to get a stick on that all the way back into the Fort Wayne zone. This will not be an icing as Straub comes back to get it. Trying to pull away from Osborne up the boards. The Komets unable to get it out yet. Loose puck, and Andy Biggio finally picked that up and banged it off the boards. Alexei Krivchenkov got it to Mike Stevens. Stevens tried the pass up ahead to Osborne. That was broken up. Andy McBain turns. McBain bangs that off the glass. Bouncing puck in behind the goal. And the Lumberjacks there to play it in their own zone. Bergfist gives it up to Barry, and Barry skates it out to his own blue line. And Barry at center ice with points in 13 straight games. Trying to go wide now on the near side. Pulls up in the circle. Back out toward the blue line. Dumped it into the corner on the far side for Stevens. Mike Stevens trying to spin away from a check by Straub. It comes loose, and here comes Rob Murphy leading the charge back for the Komets. Murphy shovels that in on goal, and Laleem's going to steer that aside. Plays it up ahead to Mike Stevens in a good play. Here come the Lumberjacks out of their own zone. Barry again with a good head of steam at the blue line. In over the line, had it swept away from him, and Kevin Wertman controls. Bouncing puck into the corner on the far side. Rob Straub unable to get there. Knocked in behind the net. Len Barry's got it. Barry into the near side corner. Mike Stevens. Stevens with the puck here on the backhand. Stevens took the shot, and it deflects up over the goal. Mike Stevens is deadly with that backhand shot. That's got to be his favorite shot. Out on the far side, Konstantin Shifronov at center ice. He's hit over the line in the circle. Tried to spin away from Bill Armstrong. Chin got a stick on that. Now Shifronov back out to the line to Guy Dupuis. His shot wide of the net. And Drake Berehowski took a swing at that. Still loose in the corner on the far side. Penalty coming up to the Lumberjacks. On the delayed call, the goaltender off. And the Lumberjacks still haven't touched up. Top circle right side. This is Evans. Evans dumped it in front, and the Lumberjacks finally pick it off. And we're going to be whistled down, the Lumberjacks, for holding. And Fort Wayne on the power play when we continue on the Jacks Hockey Network.
When you change everything and break the rules, you can expect a reaction. We sure got one. 4 Dodge nameplates were just named Consumers Digest Best Buys. So we're celebrating with great deals on this Best Buy, Dodge Caravan. With sliding doors available on both sides, seats that roll in and out, and space for so many things, you could say we thought of everything. Obviously, Consumers Digest thought a lot of Caravan too. See the friendly Dodge dealer near you.
At Continental, we've been listening to you. But we haven't stopped there. We've been getting better and better. In fact, in recent months, we've been among the best in the business at handling your baggage and getting you to your destination on time. So fly us again. You'll see there's no stopping us now.
Look at Bill Armstrong. You think this guy is unhappy. Look at that face. He's in for holding, and here's a look at the penalty.
He stays with his man all the way in the action in front of the net. He grabs him right here, but the problem is he held on to him too long. He should have left him go maybe just a second or so. The referee waited and waited, and he did hold him, but he held him too long. The referee lets you do a little bit of holding, especially around the front of the net. But once you get into that 3 and 4 seconds, you're going to get called.
So the Fort Wayne power play, they go on the power play for the second time here in the first period. Evans at the right point, had it knocked away. Here comes Rick Hayward back for the Lumberjacks. At center ice, ripped it in on goal, just wide of the net. Bouncing puck off the end boards. And Kuntar played that into the corner on the far side. Here come the Komets out. Wordman left it there for Colin Chin, and Chin carries out center ice. At center ice, it's picked up there by Sean Evans. And Colin Chin is shaken up as he goes to the Fort Wayne bench. In behind his own goal now. Evans skates ahead with it. On the right side, got it to Paul Willett. Willett, left wing pass in over the line to the far side. LeBlanc. He tried to center the pass, and Hayward broke that up and bangs it out to center ice. Not sure what Colin Chin got, whether it was a stick up in the face or not. But he is being attended to on the bench. Back to the line. Kept in. No, it wasn't. And the crowd doesn't like this, but that's going to be whistled as an offside.
Jeff Christian, when Colin Chin was coming up the ice, Jeff Christian, who is quite a bit taller than Colin Chin, took him out and got him across the side of the jaw. Jeff Christian also took a player down behind the play as the puck was coming out of the Fort Wayne zone. He had a good shift, trying to get some life back into this Lumberjack hockey club.
Look at Sean Evans as he goes to the Fort Wayne bench. Still a minute 14 left on this Fort Wayne power play. Now in to the zone, Guy Dupuis on the right side. He got it to Shafronov. Shafronov centered the pass. Here's a chance for Rob Murphy in behind the goal. Murphy plays it back out to the point. Straub on the left point. Back to Murphy. Now back to Brian Straub. He's got one tonight. Took the shot and a save by Lalime. Bouncing puck into the corner on the far side. Rob Murphy settles it down. Back to the point now. Guy Dupuis lays that into the corner on the right side. LeBlanc trying to pull away from Ryan Savoya. Actually, it's Alexei Krivchenkov. Now Rob Straub is checked in along the boards by Fitzgerald. Here come the Lumberjacks out the other way. Lead pass to Fitzgerald. He's got one man to beat. Fitzgerald spun around. He's going to take the shot and actually pulled down from behind and no penalty. Wow, the Jacks bench is a little bit upset over that one. Fort Wayne still in the power play. Lead pass, and Andy Bizo is just offside. And the Lumberjacks pretty close to a scoring chance, shorthanded down the other way.
Well, it was a good play by Mark Osborne. Another play by for Fitzgerald to go to the net on the play. Taken down by the defenseman, and the reason that he wasn't called on that is because he was driving to the net, and as he was driving he got to his backhand and he was off stride, and it looked like he was falling before the Fort Wayne player hit him.
We highlighted Rusty Fitzgerald as a guy that hasn't scored a lot lately. One goal in his last 12 games. I really like what I see out of him tonight, though.
Yeah, these fellas that we talked about before the game that haven't scored much lately, they're putting everything they have into this, and something's going to happen here sooner for them.
Andy McBain, over 600 games in the NHL with Winnipeg, Pittsburgh, Vancouver, and Ottawa, and a big part of this Fort Wayne Komet team. Willett over the line now. It's dumped in behind the goal. Ross Wilson got there. Down to the near side now. Wilson to the side of the goal. Gave it up to Paul Willett. Willett pulls it out into the circle. Brink wide pass. Barry just failed to get a stick on that. Now LeBlanc. LeBlanc goes the other side. Penalty time expired. Sean Evans keeps that into the corner on the far side. Wilson gets there first. Stevens ties him up, but he pulls away from that check. Now John LeBlanc again in the circle. Fort Wayne keeps the pressure on. Stevens dumped a man, and now with a chance to clear, Mike Stevens plays it to the line and all the way out center ice. Got it ahead to Glenn Barry. Barry tipped it free for Armstrong. Armstrong is tied up. Barry can't catch up to that, and it's banged out to center ice. 2:22 to go here in the opening period. 2-0 Fort Wayne with a lead. Behind his own goal, Brian Straub without the helmet. Straub again with his 5th goal of the year to give the Komets a 2-0 edge halfway through the opening period. Now the Lumberjacks at center ice. Stevens got it free. Stevens has collided into the boards by Andy Bizo. What a big hit that was. That was clean, though. And over the line, Andy McBain. McBain a centering pass, and Bizo just tipped that wide. Andy Bizo is all over the ice right now. Tip past Rusty Fitzgerald out center ice, and Chris Winnes settles it down. Boy, that lit this crowd up. Now Winnes taking off the puck. He ties up Dave McConaughey. McConaughey's got him pinned in along the boards. Puck comes free for Drake Berehowski with 1:35 left in the period. And Berehowski lays it ahead to Lenny Barry. Barry to Fitzgerald. Rusty Fitzgerald turns in his own zone with it. On the far side, Barry got it free for Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald back in over the line, top of the circle on the near far side. Finally went down, tried to make one move too much on Chris Talk. And it's still loose. McConaughey got a stick on that, but can't do anything with it. And now we've got a high-sticking penalty coming up. And the Lumberjacks are going to go on the power play with 1:15 left in this first period.
Again, that line of Callender, McKillick, and Fitzgerald keeping the puck down low, making things happen, and that's where the penalty happened because the Lumberjacks were putting pressure.
It's going to be Chris Talk for Fort Wayne. Watch this hit by Andy Bizo on Mike Stevens. You're going to just see it. Boom. And I said it was a clean hit.
It was. He came after him. Mike had let the puck go, and he was watching his pass. And obviously that's when you're at your weakest moment, when you try to follow your pass and you get blindsided, as Mike Stevens was right there in front of the Lumberjack bench. And I know that the players on the Lumberjack bench were yelling at him, hey, heads up, but it wasn't in time.
Look at Chris Talk. He's in for high sticking, and boy, how bad do the Lumberjacks need a power play goal here in the final minute?
Well, not only do they need a goal here, Tim, they have to get something happening on the power play. They've got to get some shots, and they've got to go to the net. Just moving the puck around is not good enough. Something's got to happen. You got to get some results out of it.
Callender up front with Dave McConaughey and Mark Osborne. Tip back out to the line, Berehowski. Berehowski gave it up. It's controlled by Guy Dupuis, and now finally swept down the ice. And so the Lumberjacks, Victor Gervais hurries back to play. Just a minute to go here in the opening period. Jacks skated 5-on-4 for the second time tonight. Gervais gains the red line, drills it in deep. In behind the goal, it comes to the corner near side. Colin Chin is back out for the Komets. Up the boards it's played. Gervais went to his knees to keep that in. Got it to Callender, but it's tipped past Gervais and all the way back down the ice. 43 seconds left in the period. Here's Berehowski again. Again, he fires it deep in behind the goal. Corner on the far side. Osborne ties up his man. Straub is bumped there by Callender in the corner. It's knocked past Dave McConaughey and cleared off the glass. Not out yet, but here comes Andy McBain. McBain's got Paul Willett ahead at the blue line and couldn't stay onside. McBain turns back into his own zone and then dumps it up the boards. Gervais was checked by Paul Willett. And with 15 seconds left in the period, behind his own goal, Berehowski gave it to Victor Gervais. Back to Drake Berehowski. 10 seconds left. Drake got to the line. Left wing pass. Christian tipped it free for Barry. Drop pass Victor Gervais. His shot deflects into the corner on the far side. That'll do it. The horn sounds. And the first period comes to an end. Pretty good period, though, for the Fort Wayne Komets. They get goals from John LeBlanc and Brian Straub. Less than 2 minutes apart. And the Fort Wayne Komets will skate off with a 2-0 lead after one period of play. We'll take a break here in our first intermission at the War Memorial Coliseum of Fort Wayne. And we'll be back with a recap of the opening 20 minutes when we return on the Jacks Hockey Network. Jack. And not only did he make the save, but as you have always harped on, you're the old goaltender, he covered up that rebound.
Well, yes, he did, and he squared to the puck too, Tim. He followed the puck, he let it out, and he squared his shoulders and made the good save, and then he covered up the rebound.
All right, the Lumberjacks have not had the scoring opportunities that Fort Wayne has. We'll look at our Revco first period scoring summary, and the 2 goals for the Fort Wayne Komets coming in a span of about 2 minutes. LeBlanc is 32nd, and Brian Straub his 5th. That 5th came on the power play. But this is not at all unusual for the Lumberjacks. This is not unfamiliar territory, because many times in the last couple of weeks the Jacks have found themselves down by 2 and have come back in the third period. That's not the recipe that Rick Patterson would just assume they follow.
No, Rick has said that before, that hey, this is not what we want to do. We want to make sure that we get out in front and let the other team pressure. But again, the Lumberjacks with a lot of experience know where they're going, know what they have to do, and but we'll get it together in the second period.
The Michigan K-Wings play the Atlanta Knights tonight. That is a game in Kalamazoo, and we will keep you updated on that score as much as possible. The Jacks, with a win tonight or a Michigan K-Wing loss, will clinch home ice advantage in the first round of the playoffs. It's 2-0 Fort Wayne with the lead after one period of play. We'll take a break, and when we return,
Quick shot right over the top of the shoulder of Patrick Lalime on the right side.
LeBlanc gets that, his 32nd of the year for the Fort Wayne Komets. Actually his 10th here in Fort Wayne, 32nd overall. Then it's Straub, a shot from the right point after a save by Patrick Lalime. And the shot from the point looked like it deflected. It hit the goal post and went in.
Well, we'll get a good look at it here. We never saw this angle previously, and there's the shot again, and went right back up, and Patrick going to the right side, it deflected and went to his left.
Straub's 5th. That was a power play goal, and the Komets 1 for 2 with the man advantage. The Lumberjacks, though, on the power play for 46 seconds at the start of the third period. Jack fans, the official Jack warm-up jerseys, the ones the players wear before each home game, on sale at your local Hills Department Store or at the Jacks team shop in North Olmsted. Hills Department Store, the official team headquarters for Jacks merchandise. Jock Callender in to take the draw against Colin Chin as the Jacks open the second period with a man advantage. Now Drake Berehowski dumps it in behind the goal. It bounces off the glass and in the far corner, and the Lumberjacks control. Lenny Perry, now it comes back to Berehowski with a shot to save. Rebound bounced out in front, and another shot, and finally no, it's in. Les Kuntar thought he had it covered up, and boy is he going after referee Dean Warren, but it squirted in behind him, and the Lumberjacks have scored the power play goal just 15 seconds into the second period.
Well, Kuntar may be arguing, but the referee was standing right there behind him, and the puck appeared loose, and we keep plugging away at it. There's Fitzgerald, keep plugging. There, it's loose. He doesn't have it, and it goes right between his legs.
I think it's Dave McConaughey who's going to get credit for his 22nd goal of the year, and the Lumberjacks are on the scoreboard.
Big goal for the Lumberjacks on this power play, and we talked about that earlier. And there's where Berehowski, with his talent and his speed and what he can do with the hockey game, with the hockey puck, on the power play, he could be very instrumental and very successful to the Lumberjacks coming into the season.
I said McKinnock. Actually, now that I look at this replay, it's going to be Fitzgerald.
It is Fitzgerald. He keeps mucking around the front of the net, and all of a sudden there's the goaltender laying down, and the puck goes in underneath him.
That's going to be Fitzgerald's 16th goal of the year. And we said he wasn't hot, but he has shown a lot of spunk tonight, and he's got just his second goal in the last 13 games now. Fitzgerald gets the goal for the Lumberjacks, and they're on the scoreboard, trailing it 2-1. And in over the line is Messier. It's poked off his stick into the corner, controlled there by Konstantin Shafronov, but the Lumberjacks head back the other way. Dave McKinnock will draw an assist on that goal. John Calendar in over the line. Dropped it there for McKinnock. Tipped out in front. They score! Rusty Fitzgerald, his second goal of the contest. His second goal here in the period, all in the first minute of the second period. And a nice setup for Rusty in front.
Well, we talked about when you work hard and you play hard, good things happen. And Dave McKinnock finds Rusty Fitzgerald breaking for the net. He just gets one hand on it and puts it right between the goaltender's leg.
43 seconds is going to be the time of the goal, so Rusty Fitzgerald twice in the opening minute.
Again, an end-to-end rush by this line, and this line, as we talked earlier in the first period, has been playing real well and moving the puck well and skating and driving. Good movement there by Dave McKinnock to get the puck to Fitzgerald, and a one-handed tap in for him. Big goal. 28
seconds separate the two goals, his 16th and 17th of the years, and the Lumberjacks are back even at 2. The first a power play goal, the second one even strength, and the Jacks even with the Komets. Loose puck at the blue line. Now it comes near side. LeBlanc with a shot, knocked away by Lalime into the corner. LeBlanc poked that back in behind the net. Paul Willett centering pass, and Wilson failed to get a shot on. Willett has it again. Into the circle, now tipped back out to the line. Quick shot. Glove there by Patrick Lalime. Rivchenkov poked that into the corner on the far side. Here come the Lumberjacks out of their own zone. Lenny Berry failed to control that. And it's played back deep into the Cleveland end. Fort Wayne changes up on the fly. We've played 1:25 of this second period. The Jacks scored twice by Rusty Fitzgerald. Bouncing puck into the far side. Now a centering pass, and McBain's shot fired up over the goal. Chasing that down is Andy Bizzo. Again, he's been all over. Hayward is tied up with Andy Bizzo in the corner. Watch these two. Hayward's going to get the penalty, but Andy Bizzo gets up. And Bizzo tried to draw Hayward into another one. And let's see if Hazy gets just the one penalty or the two. I think it's going to be the one.
Well, actually, I think Hayward was trying to get Bizzo to retaliate, but you know what? Bizzo won't retaliate with Hayward. He's had a couple of opportunities to go at him. You can't tell me this guy that's got 500 and some minutes in penalty that he doesn't take retaliation.
Well, I don't know. As we looked at Andy Bizzo, it may be because he's afraid of this guy.
Well, that could be very, very possible.
Hayward gets just a 2 for roughing.
Takes him real heavy into the boards. Stays with them all the way. Now he's trying to get Bizzo to react to it. Bizzo won't do it. He's going to get up here. He sees, oh, there's number 4, and he just pushes him down and skates away.
Third penalty called against the Lumberjacks. It's 2 minutes for roughing to Rick Hayward at 1:47, and the Komets on the power play for the third time tonight. Now Kevin Workman played it back to the line. Evans, Murphy now on the boards to the far side. Power play side of the net, bouncing puck out in front, went off the Stefan Bergfest skate. In behind the goal to Shafronov again. Shafronov's got Murphy in the corner on the far side. Back out to the right point. Here's a shot by Evans and a save by Patrick Lalime. Into the corner, and now a chance to clear. Bergfest couldn't get it out, but the Lumberjacks finally do force it back into the neutral zone. Minute 33 left in the penalty time. Fort Wayne with a power play goal in the first period. Now the Komets at center ice got it to the line. In over the line is Mitch Messier. Tried to step around Bergfest. He's got it. Side of the net. Off a skate. Loose puck still. And the Jacks with a chance to clear. Berahowski couldn't get that done. Back to the line. Quick shot by Workman. Sails up over the goal. Drake Berahowski had a chance to clear. On the far side, a shot just wide of the net off the stick of Rob Murphy. Now Evans in the corner on the near side. Fort Wayne keeping the pressure on. Back to the line. Workman with a shot with the traffic in front. And it's knocked into the corner. Here's another chance by Drake Berahowski to clear, and he lays it all along the boards all the way back into the Fort Wayne end. 50 seconds left the penalty time to Rick Hayward. 17 minutes left here in the second period. It's tied at 2. The Jacks with 2 quick goals to start the second period. Now Colin Chin weaves his way up through center ice. Got to the line but stood up there. Lenny Berry ties him up, and it comes free. Mark Osborne turns at his own blue line. Jack still down a man for 32 seconds. Berry back to Osborne, and Osborne turns away at his own blue line and lags the puck back into his own end. Alexei Krivchenkov then finds a hole and sends it all the way down. 20 seconds left in the penalty time to Hayward. Behind his own goal, Brian Straub starts out again. Left side, he got it to Guy Dupuis. Dupuis gains the red line, fires it in behind the goal into the corner on the far side. Osborne knocked it down before it got to Paul Willett. In behind his own goal, couldn't get it past. John LeBlanc in behind the goal, but Alexei Krivchenkov, with the penalty about to expire, dumps it out center ice. And the Jacks are back at even strength as Hayward steps out. Hayward goes to the bench, and at the side of his own net, Alexei Krivchenkov takes over. We played 4 minutes of this second period. We're tied at 2. Bouncing puck at center ice. Here's Serge Aubin. Plays it into the corner. He takes a hit. In behind the net, the Komets gain control in their own zone. Aubin, top of the circle on the near side. Took the shot. Bouncing puck. Here's a chance for Rusty Fitzgerald in behind the goal again. Fitzgerald pulls up into the corner. Down low, he goes to Aubin. Aubin's got Stevens out in front. Stevens, a centering pass, and it bounced away from Berehowski. Now Berehowski trying to keep it alive along the boards. Fort Wayne bangs that off the glass and back out center ice. Serge Aubin finds himself with a scoring chance in this second period. Just missed that pass. And Paul Gerard sends it ahead. Bouncing puck into the Cleveland zone. Bergfest sends that ahead. Here comes Fitzgerald with 2 goals already. Fitzgerald dropped it to Stevens. Stevens has got Aubin going to the front of the net. They couldn't get it to him. Stevens trying to keep it alive. He was checked. Loose puck in the corner. Fitzgerald looking for it. Now it's finally poked all the way down the ice. And this will be an icing call against the Komets with just over 15 minutes to go here in the second period. The Jacks and the Komets are tied at 2. And we'll take a break. Back with more when we return on the Jacks Hockey Network.
Dodge Dakota is #1 in resale versus Ford, Chevy, and GM.
Rusty Fitzgerald. What you don't see is Rick Hayward there. He's on the other side of the ice. He's just given a 10-minute misconduct penalty. And with the Jacks short a defenseman, this is going to hurt.
Well, this is going to hurt for sure, Tim. What happened was Hayward was coming off the bench, and as he was skating by the official, he said something to him, and he automatically got the hands on the hip and sent Hayward to the penalty box.
No power play results out of this, but Hayward will be unavailable until late in the second period. So the Jacks really now with 4 defensemen for the rest of this period. Fort Wayne gains control. Dumped it, rink wide on the right side. Here's Murphy over the line. Shafronov goes to the net. Quick shot and a save there by Patrick Lalane. Shafronov, or actually Chin, poked that to the corner. Bergfest got his stick on it. Now it comes loose, and out comes Oleg Belov. Belov, a 3-on-2 for the Lumberjacks. Belov in over the line. He's got a man on the right side. Couldn't get it to Christian. And the Komets turn back the other way. Ahead it comes to Sean Evans. Evans winds up with a shot. What a glove save, Patrick Lalane. It might have missed the net, but boy, no telling from that angle. And Patrick got the glove on that and took one away.
I got to tell you, you don't make the save on that one. It hits inside of the post, and it's a goal. It was a big save, but the mistake was made down at the other end with Belov. They had a 3-on-2. He tries to make a cute little pass. Gets all 3 forwards caught. That's where you've got to hold the puck. Let the other 2 forwards drive to the net.
Tire America wants to give you the chance to play referee with the Tire America You Make the Call Challenge. Stop by your local Tire America retailer. Sign up for your chance to make the call. Get tickets to a Jacks game. And while you're there, look at a penalty up on the Jumbotron scoreboard. If you can identify it correctly, you're going to win a set of tires courtesy of Tire America. Now Drake Berehowski rink wide in his own zone. Jock Callender backhands that ahead at center ice. Knocked down with a skate. Berehowski got it back to Callender. Here comes Jock Callender over the line. Right side pass. He got it to Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald tried to go rink wide, and it was in behind Dave McKillen. And the Komets head back. Fort Wayne at center ice. Trying to go wide is Mitch Messier on Krivchenkov. Krivchenkov lost his stick. Trying to tie up the Fort Wayne player in the corner. Still loose. Kick free now to John LeBlanc. LeBlanc dumped it to the front of the net. Bouncing puck, and Willett just couldn't control that pass. And it's played up the boards. Knocked to the line, but not out. And at the side of his own net, behind the goal now, Berehowski controls. Berehowski checked from behind. Loose puck. Lalane poked that to the corner. And Callender bangs that off the glass and gets it out to center ice. Chris Talk left it there for John LeBlanc. Checked by Fitzgerald. Loose puck on the far side. Wortman plays it ahead. Fort Wayne trying to get it to LeBlanc at the blue line. And Bill Armstrong in his own zone. Ahead to Rusty Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald stick handles by a man. Lays it off the boards ahead to McConaughey. McConaughey tried to return the pass. That's broken up between the circles. Here's Andy Bizo heading back for Fort Wayne. Checked by Len Berry and taken away. And Talk will duck back in behind his own goal. Left it there for Paul Jarrett. 7 minutes gone in the second period. Osborne knocked the man to the ice. And the loose puck comes back to Osborne. Now Bergfest. around the boards and all the way down the ice. This will be an icing call against the Lumberjacks with 12:47 to go here in the period. We're tied at 2 after the Jacks scored 2 early ones here in the second. And we're back with more when we return after these words on the Jacks Hockey Network.
No matter what kind of goals you have.
Here in 28 seconds, his 16th, 17th of the year.
Again, driving to the net, and you said in the first period that he has been working very hard, and when you do work hard and you're driving, you keep the legs moving, good things are going to happen.
I know what it is. Several weeks ago, he dyed his hair. It was blonde, and he didn't like that look, didn't like his luck, so he's gone back to the dark look.
I'm going to work on that.
Yeah. Here comes Mike Stevens. There's not enough dye. Well, bouncing puck back to the Lumberjack blue line. Bill Armstrong has it there. Armstrong got to the head. Now Osborne shoveled that into the corner. Mike Stevens chases that down. Gets there first. Center the pass right to the goal mouth. And the Komets there to clear it away. Up comes Konstantin Shafronov. Shafronov on the move trying to go wide on Bura. Husky with a shot. And a blocker save by the Leam into the corner. Crowell and Chin kept it alive. Laid the puck in behind the goal. Chased down by Armstrong onto the far side. And Army carries it out to his own blue line. Trying to get it to Osborne at center ice. Now it's Len Berry. Stepped in over the line. Return pass. Osborne moving right in with a shot. And it's deflected up over the goal. Along the boards on the far side, it does come out, and Krivchenkov lays it back to Bergfest. Stefan got it near side. Osborne now. Len Berry. Lead pass. Mike Stevens stepped in over the line. Pulls up there. Stevens looking for some help. Coming late. Jeff Christian off the bench. Christian got it to Berry. Christian goes to the side of the net. Back out to the left point. Bergfest with a shot wide of the net. Off the boards it comes. Stevens gains control. Centered it for Berry, and Berry was going to try to one-time that, and it was just too far in front of him. Christian a centering pass. Knocked down by Fort Wayne, and the Komets clear it ahead. On the right side, here comes Fort Wayne. On the far side, it's Mitch Messier. Taken off the puck by Bergfest. Bouncing puck in behind the net now. And Christian deep in his own zone. Christian up the boards. Oleg Belov tried to return the pass. Christian pulled down from behind. Penalty coming up, and why it's whistled down that quickly, I'm not sure. But it looked like a Fort Wayne penalty that was going to be called. They hadn't touched up yet.
Again, Jeff Christian going through the middle, and Willett pulls him down for the tripping penalty.
So Willett will go in. The Lumberjacks on the power play now for the second time here in the second period. Fourth time tonight. Actually, the third time tonight.
Rick Patterson before the game told me he thought that he might try and get Jeff Christian in a couple of shifts at defense tonight, if not definitely tomorrow night. And with Rick Hayward in the box, he's opted to stay with right now with the 4 defensemen he has remaining. There's the play right there on Christian, again keeping his legs moving, and Willett just getting his stick in between. And what Willett did is he got it up in between his knees and just gave a little tug. That's an old pro trick right there.
Jacks on a power play. Calendar Fitzgerald trying to get it to McConaughey. That's intercepted. And out come the Fort Wayne Komets. Short-handed Colin Chin was cut off at the line. Colin Chin, though, gains control. Stick handles around Len Berry. Berry's got him tied up. Careful there. And he almost took one himself. Now he chops it Colin Chin. On the far side, McBain with a shot. Bouncing puck out in front. And Chin couldn't direct that in on goal. And short-handed, the Komets with a great job. Here come the Lumberjacks out of their own zone again. Calendar had his back turned. Now it comes free for Len Berry and over the line. Berry winds up with a shot, and McBain got a stick on that. It's cleared up the glass, or off the glass, and all the way down the ice. Out of his net, the lane. Trying to create the screen for Drake Burahowski. Now it comes into the near side corner. Berry shovels it out in front of his own net. Mike Stevens turns in his own zone. Minute 9 left in the power play. Here comes Stevens. Good hit of steam at the center ice. He's into the zone, trying to go wide on Straub. In behind the goal. With one hand on the stick, Straub takes Stevens off the puck. Loose puck Christian. Actually, McKinnick tried to dump it out in front. McKinnick got it back, taken away by Paul Jarrett. Stevens cuts him off. Jarrett with a chance to clear on the far boards. Can't do so yet. McKinnick, now Jarrett goes down on top of the puck. McConaughey pulled that free. McConaughey gave it right back to Jarrett. Jarrett lays it into the corner on the near side. It's tipped past Bergfest and back into the Cleveland end with 39 seconds to play in the power play. Stefan Bergfest in front of his own bench. Got it ahead to Mike Stevens. Stevens pulling into the circle on the near side. Pulls up there. Got it. Osborne with a shot. Bouncing puck. Another shot, and it's knocked down in front. Still in the zone. Len Berry at the point. Berry on the far side of Bergfest. He'll tee it up, and a save there by Les Kuntar, and he hangs on with Jeff Christian down on the ice in front of him.
Again, good pressure by the Lumberjacks moving the puck around deep. They seem to have more success against Fort Wayne when they're down low.
Here's another look at it as the Jacks move it to Osborne. Osborne took the quick shot, and Christian right there in that backhand shot. Boy, if he can get anything, get that up. He's got a lot of net to shoot at over the shoulders.
And not only that, he took 2 Fort Wayne Comet players with him, and if that puck bounces the right way, there's a Lumberjack player that'll knock it into the open goal.
19 seconds left in the penalty time to Paul Willett. Jacks without a power play goal thus far. Actually, they do have one power play goal. I beg your pardon. That was Fitzgerald's first. And so the Jacks have now gone 15 straight games with at least one. They're looking for number 2 now. And the Komets bang it off the glass and back into the Cleveland zone. 10 seconds left in the power play. Maybe time for one last rush. Alexei Kripchenkov. Left wing pass at center ice. Stevens left it there for Kripchenkov. Penalty time about to expire. In behind the goal, it comes to Christian in the corner. Penalty time is over, so Fort Wayne back at even strength. Loose puck in behind the goal. Bounces into the corner on the far side. Messier plays it ahead. And back into the Cleveland zone. No icing call. So Drake Kurowski's got to hurry to play in front of John LeBlanc. Oh, and LeBlanc collides with Patrick Delim, and LeBlanc got that goal post right into his gut. On the near side now. Messier controls for the Komets. Drop pass Evans. He's got a man in front. Couldn't get it to him. And the Lumberjacks come away in their own zone. Stevens at center ice. Osborne. Left it there for Jeff Christian. Over the line. Drop pass Osborne. Back to Christian into the corner. At the side of the net. In behind the goal. Tried to jam it on the short side. And it's knocked away. Kept into the line by Bergfest. Only momentarily, though. And back into his own zone is Bill Armstrong. 8:28 to go in the period. And the puck trickles back into the Cleveland corner. Delim out of his net. He put it right onto Evans' stick. He had a man in front, but Bergfest tied up Sean Evans. That probably saved a goal. Now in behind the net, a bouncing puck away. And the Lumberjacks unable to get it out of their own zone yet. Still loose in behind the goal. At the side of the net. Now a penalty coming up. Wilson with a shot, and it never got through. And now as the Jacks touch up, the Komets are going to go on the power play after a holding penalty. We'll have the Komet man advantage when we return here on the Jacks Hockey Network.
When you Hayward and Oleg Belov is going to go for holding.
Here's the play behind the net, and again, Belov staying with his man. And we talked about this referee. If you're going to hold somebody, you only got a second or two to let him go, but he stays with them there, stays with them. That's 3, 4, you're gone.
So Fort Wayne goes on the power play again. They skated 5-on-4. Still deep in the Cleveland zone. Fitzgerald had it poked away from him. Now it's kept in. Sean Evans in the circle, into the corner on the far side. Evans plays it near side, Mitch Messier. Messier with one man at the point. It's Kevin Wertman. Now they get the second Sean Evans back there. Wertman between the circles over on the far side. Evans in the circle. Back to Kevin Wertman. He'll tee it up there, and a shot ticked in front and deflected away. And Fitzgerald with a chance to clear. He gets some help by Callender and back into the Fort Wayne end. And the Komets back into their own zone for it. Minute 20 left in the power play. Here come the Komets out of their own zone. Sean Evans up the middle. He fires it in on goal. Kicked away with a rebound out in front. Controlled by Willett with a shot. That's deflected into the corner on the far side. Kripchenkov couldn't get there. Fort Wayne does a centering pass right through the goal crease. And Rob Murphy just failed to get a stick on that. Now the Lumberjacks play that onto their own bench. That'll keep the faceoff in the Cleveland zone with a minute gone in this penalty time. And now we've got Armstrong toe-to-toe with Rob Murphy.
Those are two big hockey players out there yapping at each other. Murphy goes about 6'3", 6'4". Armstrong, he's another 6'4" hockey player.
Rob Murphy, a former first-round draft pick, 1987 by the Vancouver Canucks. He won the IHL Rookie of the Year award in 89-90 with the Milwaukee Admirals. Hit 71 points in 64 games. There's a look at him on the bench. And Bill Armstrong has I think he's picked up his game from an aggressive standpoint. Somebody made the comment that he always looks angry, but there is not a nicer guy on this team.
Oh yeah, I'll tell you what. I got to know him a little bit on that road trip, and and he's a left-handed golfer, by the way. We had a lot of fun with that.
But he's a nice guy anyway.
Us left-handed golfers are.
7:05 to go in the period. A minute left in the penalty time to Oleg Belov. Belov is in for holding. And the face-off between Len Berry and Colin Chen. Now the face-off control by the Komets. Back to the left point, Kevin Wertman. He pulls it high into the slot. Left into the line, Sean Evans. His quick shot controlled by Patrick Delim and hangs on. And they took another swing at Patrick out in front. But Delim thus far has faced 18 shots and turned away 16 of them.
He's looked real sure of himself in the goal tonight. I noticed in the first period he was standing up, and yet after about the 5-minute mark of the second, he's starting to drop a little bit. And maybe it's a concentration, but he's feeling very confident right now.
Here's a look at some of the action around that net. The shot from the point, and Patrick took it in the midsection.
And held onto it and smothered it. And he's got to do that. Now if he's down on his knees and those start getting away from him, he's going to get in trouble.
Loose puck in the circle. It's poked to the boards. Now Sean Evans has a man in behind the net. Doesn't go that way. Up the boards it comes. At the point. Now on the far side, Workman. John LeBlanc, top of the circle on the far side. Down low he goes. Tried to get the give and go. And they couldn't get it back to LeBlanc. Bouncing puck to LeBlanc again on the far side. He goes down, but the Komets keep it alive. Chin in the corner. Taken in along the boards by Drake Berehowski. It's still loose. Berehowski pulled it to the side of the net. Bouncing puck, but Len Berry got to it first, and Berry carries it out center ice. 2-on-2 with Osborne. Osborne in over the line. Now turns away from a check and dumps it back into his own zone. And then Osborne is drilled along the boards on the far side by John LeBlanc. And Osborne gets up and skates that way. And now we've got a whistle, and let's see, do we have a penalty coming up or not?
Well, Mark Osborne didn't appreciate what LeBlanc did. And Mark Osborne is not a type of a hockey player that will ever forget if he felt he's been done a cheap shot.
I don't know if we're going to have a shot of this because this was behind the play afterwards. The puck really wasn't there, but Osborne's helmet was knocked off, and boy, he took a big leg.
Well, I think it was a check from behind, and I believe that's why Mark Osborne is so upset. Mark Osborne is an honest hockey player, up and down, plays the game hard, plays it honest, and when he gets cheap shotted the way he did, and we're going to get a call here. The linesman is making a call, and I don't know if it was on the penalty.
Boy, both doors are opening, though, and there you saw it on the right side of your screen, that hit. But Armstrong and Bezo both go in. I think this is a matter of Dean Warren trying to keep this game from getting out of hand, don't you?
Well, sending in Bezo and then also Armstrong, who you commented a minute ago, he's turned it up a notch or two, and he is stepping in between hockey players.
Both get unsportsmanlike conduct penalties, Bezo and Armstrong, and I believe there'll be 2 minutes aside.
Well, the play on Mark Osborne, he did hit him from the front. LeBlanc did take him down, but again, Mark Osborne did not appreciate the way it was handled.
13:53 is going to be the time of those 2 penalties, and referee Dean Warren, I think, is telling both teams in his own way that this game will not get out of hand tonight.
Well, Rick Patterson wants an explanation from the referee on the call.
Let me point out something. Rick pointed this out to me the other day. Final game of the regular season on Sunday night for the Fort Wayne Komets is home against Cincinnati. That might be their first round opponent. And as physical as Fort Wayne plays, that could be a real long game.
Well, it'll be the 3rd game in 3 nights for Fort Wayne, and they have to go up to Michigan tomorrow to play. 3 games in 3 nights this time of the season. The same thing as with the Lumberjacks last week, where they played Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. This time of the year, that's tough. That takes a lot out of you, especially the week before the playoffs start.
We're tied at 2 with 6:07 to go here in the second period. And Rick Patterson looks like he needs some Tums behind that bench.
Well, is it my mistake, or did Armstrong get 10 minutes also, or were they just coincidental penalties?
I thought they were coincidental
penalties.
All
right.
They didn't go up on the boards.
Right.
It's very hard to hear the sound system too in this building. This is one of the old buildings, and to be honest with you, these old places have a lot of character.
Well, this is a great building. This was opened in 1952, so it's been around, and they haven't done a whole lot. This city of Fort Wayne takes real pride in this War Memorial Coliseum. It's a clean building, and I'll tell you what, there isn't a bad seat in the house for a building as old as it is.
We haven't seen too many TV cameras over the years, but it's a pretty good hockey building. And the puck back into the Cleveland zone.
Did they have TV in Fort Wayne in '52?
They didn't have it last week. Here comes Jock Callender at center ice. He'll lay it in behind the goal. And Callender took the hit. Into the corner on the far side. McConaughey is checked. Loose puck at the line. Kept in by Bergfus with a shot. And glove there by Wes Kuntar. And he hangs on with McConaughey in front with Paul Jarrett kind of poking at one another. And we may, the linesmen get in there to separate all of the players. I don't think we'll get penalties out of this. Now, one of the linesmen having a good laugh down there. Here's the shot from Stefan Bergfest. And Kuntar was not going anywhere with that.
No, he was holding on to that, and he's had he hasn't had a shot for a while. He just wanted to feel the puck a little bit, take a look around, get his confidence back.
Jacks had 7 shots in the first period. They have had 2nd in the second, and we've got 5:43 left here in the second period. We're tied at 2 as we look at Stefan Bergfest as he heads back to the Lumberjack bench. Stefan Bergfest assists. Well, he's got 5 in the last 20 games. His last goal was December the 5th against Detroit. He has 1 goal in 41 games, or at least the last 41.
Jeff Christian now playing the left point.
So Christian is back on the power play, or back on the defense anyway. Quick shot by Fitzgerald, and it's gloved there by Les Kumtar. And I think Fitzgerald may be the man of the night. He worked hard in the first period, got 2 goals within 28 seconds of one another in the opening minute of the second. And it just goes to show the Lumberjacks, with all their offense, if they keep working, they're not afraid to be down to anybody.
No, they've got some guys who can put the puck in the net. Their problem is if they get 3 or 4 behind, and then they start getting the odd man defenseman rushing in the play.
Christian, a shot from the point, and he got a lot of wood on that, and it's covered up. With Rick Hayward in the box, the Jacks, we told you early on at the start of the broadcast, had 5 defensemen. Basisio's back home, and with Armstrong and Hayward both in the penalty box, they're forced to play Jeff Christian along the blue line. We've talked about this possibility for the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, I know. Rick told me before the game that he tried to do it tonight, but he's definitely going to work him in tomorrow night.
Calendar in to take the draw now. It's controlled by the Komets in behind the goal. McConaughey goes down hard. And the loose puck still in the corner. Calendar fails to control. Now Jock turns, fires it at the net, hit the side of the goal with that. Fitzgerald trying to jam it in on the far side. And the Fort Wayne Komets gain control, and out they come. Here's Rob Murphy at center ice. Gave it up on the right side to Shafronov. Shafronov into the corner. He's tied up there by Calendar. Jock couldn't get a stick on that, but McConaughey did tip it out center ice. Right over is Chris Talk with 5:07 to go in the second period. Rob Murphy on the near side boards. Over to Kevin Wertman, gains the red line, shovels that in wide of the net. Jeff Christian back to play it, but we've got a puck knocked down by a high stick, and that's going to bring a face-off in the zone. 4:57 left in the second. We're tied at 2, and we'll take another break. Back with more when we return on the Jacks Hockey Network.
At Gund Arena coming up. Tickets for the Eastern Conference quarterfinals on sale now at Gund Arena, Ticketmaster, or by phone at 216-241-5555. If the Jacks clinch home ice advantage in the first round, and that is still an if, games A and B would be Friday, April the 19th, and Saturday, April the 20th at 7 o'clock. But stay tuned for that as the Eastern Conference quarterfinals begin at Gund Arena. And the Lumberjacks still trying to lock up home ice advantage. 4:45 to play here in the second period. We're tied at 2. Both teams skating at even strength, 5 men aside. And the puck back into the Cleveland zone. Back to play it. Berehowski ripped it off the boards and all the way back into the Fort Wayne zone. This may be an icing call against the Lumberjacks, and it's whistled down. Well, the Lumberjacks come into tonight's contest. Only 2 teams in the league have scored more goals than the Jacks have this year, Bob, but only 2 have allowed more goals, and that's not the kind of hockey that typically is considered playoff hockey. So there has been an adjustment over the last few weeks.
Well, the advantage you have going into the playoffs is that the first round, if you do get home ice advantage, what you can do is work your way into a playoff format as far as goals against and what you're trying to do. But you've got to be careful in that first round, and you've got to make sure you take advantage, especially if you get home ice advantage.
Fort Wayne wins the draw. 4:28 left here in the second period. The bouncing puck back out of the corner and at the side of his own net. Barry controls. Off the boards to the far side. It eludes Mark Osborne all the way back into the zone. Icing waved off. Out of his net. Les Kumtar plays it off the boards. Then Barry controls. Barry gave it up to Stevens in the slot and is shot wide of the net. And Barry hurries over and again fires it into the corner on the far side. Up the boards it comes. Kripchenkov kept that in for Mike Stevens. Stevens side of the net. Osborne laid it right out in front. Barry couldn't get there in time. Barry taken down in behind the goal. He's still trying to control the puck. It's gloved there by a Fort Wayne player. And finally the whistle comes, and the faceoff will remain in the Komet zone.
Kind of funny down there. Both number 9s, Evans and Len Barry, on the ice, and both of them were playing pass the puck with the hand to each other.
Here's a look at Sean Evans. He was the second-round pick of the New Jersey Devils in '83. Traded to the Komets by Milwaukee at the end of last season. Played 9 NHL games in his career with St. Louis and the New York Islanders.
Another one of the 30-year-olds on this Fort Wayne Hockey Club.
There are a few old guys, aren't there?
Well, I don't know that 30 is all that old.
Oh, my.
Veteran players, as they say. It's when they say to me, people introduce me, they say, this is Bob Whidden, the old goalie. I told them, I'm old now. I wasn't old when I played.
Gee, I hope I didn't start that.
Well, as a matter of fact, there have been a few times.
Ole Beloff out for the Lumberjacks. He's going to come in to take the draw. He's got Jeff Christian up front with him, along with Ryan Savoia. Savoia ties up his man along the near side boards. Beloff has it in the corner. He's checked. Held in along the boards. Christian trying to help out. They continue to kick at it along the dasher board in the near side corner. Colin Shin trying to get that covered up, and Christian pulls it free. And behind the net, side of the net, Beloff. Now a shot by Savoia. Didn't get a whole lot on that. And Chris Winnes turns in his own zone. At its center ice, McBain was lined up and lost control of the puck. Jeff Christian on the far side, couldn't gain control. Now it comes near side. Chris Winnes. He's got one man to beat. It's Alexei Kravchenko. Pulls up, centering pass right to the goal mouth. And Bizzo just failed to get a stick on it. Tell you what, Andy Bizzo has been dangerous tonight. He's got it again in the slot, trying to pull away from Hayward. Couldn't get the shot off. Still on the bouncing puck, and Andy McBain covered up by Patrick Lalime. And we get a whistle and a stoppage of play with 3 minutes and 12 seconds to play here in this second period. But Andy Bizzo makes things happen.
Yeah, he does. He's a little fire plug out there, going all the time. I can see while he's piled up the penalty minutes.
And the league record is not entirely out of the question. I think Doug Evans has the league record, but Andy Bizzo, 175 minutes in penalties, 175 more than the second guy in the league.
Again, there's a lot of misconduct penalties and a lot of 5-minute major fightings in that total.
He led the Colonial Hockey League in penalty minutes last year with over 500. Now a quick shot off the draw. Wilson, that went wide. McConaughey tipped it along the boards, couldn't get it out yet. Held in along the boards in the far side. Kevin Wortman, a good job. Wortman dumped it in behind the net now. Bill Armstrong is going to get there first. Backhands that up the boards. And the Lumberjacks, Jock Callender tipped it by a man at center ice. Here comes the Jacks, 2-on-1 if they hurry. Callender over the line. Callender tried to pull it out in front and then tried to dump the pass. It's still loose as Rusty Fitzgerald got a stick on that. And Jock tried to get it to Dave McConaughey. Here comes Konstantin Shafronov over the line. Drop pass. Wilson with a shot and a save by Lalime. He took that in the midsection, and I think Patrick is shaken up as he got that right in the gut.
Did you see the play Jock Callender made down at the other end where he went behind his back and was still in motion and tried to go from heel to toe on the stick?
Watch this.
This is a tremendous play.
Mikhailuk is camped at the side of the net, and that's who he's trying to get this puck to.
The defenseman's going to go down. Look at this play. Pulls it behind him and between the legs and tries to get it to Dave Mikhailuk.
Only Callender. And then it was shot back into the crease, and I'm not sure if it didn't hit Jock before going in.
I think Jock made a toe save on that. The problem that you had on that particular play is that all three forwards got caught, and when the puck came loose, then you had to rush the other way. And a good save by Patrick Lalime, again, getting down and smothering that puck and holding on to it.
Just over 2.5 minutes to play in the second period. 2-2 the score. Fort Wayne, the only 2 goals of the first period. So far, the Jacks, the only 2 in the second. It came in the opening minute of the second period. Now the Komets, a quick shot off the side of the net by Paul Willett. Bouncing puck at the side of the goal. Messier can't control. Callender had it played in front of him by Paul Willett, but Jock checked him from behind, and here come the Callender out. Fitzgerald on the right side. He's hit over the line. McConaughey cutting to the front of the net, and Fitzgerald couldn't get it to him. Rusty in the corner now, turns back into the circle. Side of the net, McConaughey. His centering pass. Berehowski got a stick on it, but it goes just wide of the net. Oh, the Jacks came close. And the goaltender has lost his goal stick. He reaches out for it and has it as the Komets are going to be whistled down for icing with 2:06 left here in the second period. What a great scoring chance, though, for the Jacks.
Again, Berehowski reading the play well. He breaks for the front of the net. Again, the Lumberjacks have to make sure that there's only 2 minutes to go in this second period. You don't want to get 4 guys caught up the ice. There's the play. There's Berehowski, your defenseman, and somebody's got to back him up.
Boy, Berehowski just tossed Guy Dupuis aside in front of that crease. Here's a look at Drake Berehowski. He's got 7 assists now in the last 6 games. He has 1 here tonight. 5 goals in the last 46 games. Scored his 6th of the season against the Las Vegas Thunder about a week and a half ago. Alan Berry comes in to take the draw against Colin Chen with 2:06 left in the period. Back to the line, Bill Armstrong. Snapshot wide of the net. Armstrong is back out there for the Jacks. Now in behind the goal, Len Berry. Berry tried to get it free for Osborne. It bounced away from him. Here's Chris Winnes in his own end. Winnes hits Mike Stevens with that. Stevens trying to gain control, and it finally is knocked back into the Cleveland end. Minute 48 left in the period. Now Lalime leaves it there and behind his own goal, Alexei Kravchenko. Under 2 minutes left. Lenny Berry up the far boards. Berry with good speed up through center ice. Tipped it by a man into the corner, but it's played by Paul Jarrett. In behind the net. And Andy McBain controls deep in his own zone. He's checked there by Mark Osborne. Comes free on the near side. Berry tried to send it out in front with 1:21 left. Krivchenkov a shot and a save there by Les Kuntar. He saw that all the way. And Len Berry with some nifty work out in front almost set up the go-ahead goal. Osborne now pushing and shoving with the Fort Wayne player out in front of Les Kuntar.
Still some yapping going on there. Len Berry and Straub have been talking to each other this whole shift, going at each other.
And Dean Warren's not gonna put up with this much longer.
Both coaches want to get some line changes. Now we're going to end up with about 12 hockey players on the ice from each team.
Here's Berry, pulls it up to the side of the net, laid it right out in front, and the Lumberjacks just failed to get a shot off. He was looking for Fitzgerald.
And this is the continuation here with Berry and Straub going at it.
Berry goes to the bench.
This is a new line. Patterson's got Callender taking the draw at center with Christian on the left side, Aubin on the right.
Callender in to take the draw with 1:18 left in the period. Shots even thus far tonight, 19 aside.
Good comeback by the Lumberjacks here in the last couple of minutes of this second period on the shots on goal.
Yep, they had 7 in the first period. Now in behind his own net, Stefan Bergfest, bouncing puck. Colin Chin knocked that down. He goes hard into the boards, though. Hit his head, I think. Colin Chin slow to get up. Collision at center ice. Callender and Chris Talk. And now Serge Aubin threw a body into Kevin Workman. And the puck deep into the zone. Christian's going to get there. Christian keeps it alive for the Lumberjacks, with the Fort Wayne Komets gain control. And Christian is tied up. As the crowd reacts to that, back comes Murphy. Lays it ahead off the stick of Paul Willett. It'll be driven in on a delayed offside, and the Komets haven't tagged up at the line yet. Now they do. At center ice, Drake Berehowski gloves it, throws it up to himself. At center ice, he fires that in on goal. And a save there by Les Kuntar with 25 seconds to play in the period. 2-2 the score. The Jacks and the Komets, and we should be in for a great third period. Mike Stevens intercepts at center ice. Stevens breaking up the ice. In over the line, he's got Callender cutting to the front. He got it to Jock, and it jumped over his stick high in the slot. And unable to get a shot off. On the boards on the near side, it's knocked out center ice with 6 seconds to play in the period. LeBlanc trying to get it ahead to Paul Willett. Now Evans on the far side took a backhand shot at that, and the buzzer sounds, and the second period comes to an end. We may have penalties at the 20-minute mark of the second period, as Alexei Krivchenkov, and I'm not sure if it was Rob Murphy or not, got tangled.
It was either Willett or Rob Murphy.
We'll pass those penalties on to you when we find out, as referee Dean Warren backs over to the penalty box. It's 2-2 after 2 periods of play. The Jacks scored 2 in the opening minute of the second period and have got even with the Fort Wayne Komets after the second period of play. We'll take a break, back with a recap when we continue on the Jacks Hockey Network. Third period begins. There were penalties called at the 20-minute mark of the second period. Krivchenkov and Willett both get 2 minutes. And so the two teams will open the third period 4 minutes aside. It's swept away from Drake Berehowski by Shafronov. He chases that down in the corner. Konstantin Shafronov deep in the Cleveland zone. Bumped off the puck there by Stefan Bergfest. It's still loose in the Cleveland zone. Murphy trying to gain control. Watch there by Len Berry. Murphy still with it in the corner. Now it'll be played by Drake Berehowski. Murphy knocked that down. Murphy tried to dump it out in front. Hit the back of the goal with that. It's still loose. And finally, Jacks player goes down. That's going to be a trip. And the Lumberjacks are going to go on the power play. But, boy, not much of a penalty by Rob Murphy.
Well, no, that's a penalty. There's the referee. You got to know you played the game as long as Rob Murphy has, that the referee is going to be down and deep behind the goal. And that's just pure frustration on the part of Murphy. Working down low with the defenseman, and he steals it, goes in the corner. He just simply wraps the stick between his legs and pulls the puck out, or his legs out from underneath him.
Going to be only the 4th power play for the Lumberjacks tonight, so they have not had the power play all that much. Again, they do have 1 power play goal, but it was special teams that really led to their 4 earlier wins against the Komets. They've got now 12 power play goals in the season series.
Well, if you're going to get power plays, this is the time to get them early in the period when things are kind of leveled off and you can work the puck around. This is going to be a 4-on-3. This is going to be interesting here. We got about 1 minute and 20 seconds on a 4-on-3 here.
Here come the Jacks. Now Len Berry, he's out there with Jock Callender, Mike Stevens, and Drake Berehowski. Around the boards in the far side. Callender knocked that down, trying to get it to Mike Stevens in the corner. Jock controls up the boards. Andy McBain's going to come out with that. And McBain at center ice shovels it past Len Berry and back deep into the Cleveland end. 1 minute left on the penalties to Krivchenkov and Willett. Here come the Jacks again. Lead pass right side. Mike Stevens trying to step around Straub. He got a piece of him. Now in behind the goal. Shovels it near his side. Jock Callender. Back to the point. Drake Berehowski. Top of the circle. Len Berry. Back to Berehowski between the circles. Bear faked the shot. The other side he got it to Stevens. Back to Drake Berehowski. Near side Len Berry with the one-time shot, and it's knocked away. Bouncing puck. Drilled. Mike Stevens was hit to the ice as he tried to settle the bouncing puck down. And the Komets cleared the zone. 27 seconds left in this 4-on-3, and then it's going to be a 5-on-4. Callender out of his own zone, right up the middle. Jock Callender on the right side, got it to Stevens. He's checked, but it's an offside at the Fort Wayne blue line, and the Jacks just a little out of sync here.
Well, I think Jock wanted to carry the puck in over the blue line, and Mike Stevens was kind of pressuring the blue line, so Jock had to give it up. Consequently, he made a bad pass. And Len Berry right now just went over and told Mike, let Jock carry the puck into the zone before he has to make that pass.
So the face-off's going to be just outside the Fort Wayne blue line. 52 seconds in the power play left. And we're in the early going of the third period, tied at 2. Look at Mike Stevens. He has been key on the power play this year. Had a great season with the Cincinnati Cyclones last year. I believe he finished with 77 points. And has turned it up a little bit in the second half of this season. Now Berehowski up to center ice. Drake Berehowski got it to the Fort Wayne blue line, carried it in, got it to Stevens. Now over to Len Berry, and it jumped away from Len Berry. Berry stepped around a man, kept it alive. He's got an empty net, took the shot. Rebound. Drake Berehowski pulls it out in front. Bear hasn't taken a shot. Now Mike Stevens has it near side to Ben Berry, and it went off his skate. Oh, the Jacks had a great scoring chance and couldn't take advantage. Back comes Paul Willett. He's got Chris Talk in front, and the pass knocked down by Berehowski on a good defensive play. Don't overlook that. It was actually Fitzgerald on a great defensive play the other way. And the Jacks again bringing in offside. Nope, sounded like we had a whistle. Now a bouncing puck out in front. Callender controls to the line. Jock Callender got it back. He tried to shovel that out in front. Kind of fanned on that. And the Komets finally clear it down the ice. Penalty time has expired, so the Fort Wayne Komets kill it off. Boy, the Jacks had a great scoring chance, though.
Had the goaltender down and out of the net and couldn't get the shot on goal.
Now it's drilled in behind the goal into the corner on the far side. Colin Schinover skates that. Reaches back for it, knocked down by Fitzgerald. Christian in behind the goal, couldn't get a handle on that. And it's played away from him by Paul Willett. Actually, it's Kevin Wertman. Wertman pulling away at center ice. Now to Colin Shin. He stepped it over the line. He's got Wertman with him high in the slot. Evans with a shot and a save, and the rebound knocked away. Patrick Delaney comes up big. And Christian sends it out to center ice, just too far in front of Rusty Fitzgerald, and Rusty will change up. And now it's played out of the play into the penalty box area, and we get a stoppage of play. Early going to the third period. Jacks and the Komets tied at 2. Back with more after these words on the Jacks Hockey Network.
When we received our first Consumers Digest Best Buy award, we were pleased. The second and third, very pleased indeed. The fourth, we were motivated. So during the Dodge Consumers Digest Best Buy celebration, save on this Best Buy. Dodge Avenger. With its remarkable style and balanced performance, Avenger was designed to be the best. And with $1,000 cash back or 1.9% financing, this Best Buy simply can't get any better. See the friendly Dodge dealer near you.
You don't have to be a pro athlete to need sports medicine and rehab. Sure, a lot of the people you see in the Peak at Marymount make their living on the playing field, but a lot of them don't. They're firemen and architects and moms too, and they all have the same thing in common. They need to get back on the job. For professional sports medicine and rehab, call the Peak at 663-0080 and get back into action. Sports Medicine Center of the Cleveland Crunch and Lumberjacks.
Drake Berehowski has only 6 goals this year. What an opportunity he had here, though.
But again, there's the goaltender right out. Great saves by there. He should have shot it right there. He held it, loses control, and again, tries to make a pass over to Jock Callender, and they miss. Jock ends up on the ice.
Watch the defensive play, though, by Rusty Fitzgerald the other way. Here it is.
he does make a good play. He stays right in the middle, as you're taught when you're a defenseman. Just stay in the middle, and Rusty played it like a veteran defenseman. Then he headmans the puck, and out they come in the zone with Len Berry.
Face-off just outside the Fort Wayne blue line. 16:47 to go here in the third period. We're still tied at 2. LeBlanc and Straub, the goal scorers for the Komets. Fitzgerald got 2 in 28 seconds in the opening minute of the second period. Now here come the Komets again. Andy McBain at center ice fires it in on goal. Boy, he didn't miss by much. Patrick got a piece of that. In behind the goal, Christian. He is taken into the boards hard. Bounces off of that hit. Mark Osborne on the near side now. Trying to go rink wide, too far in front of Christian. Controlled there by Chris Winnis. Andy McBain has it in front of his own bench. McBain trying to spin away from Serge Aubin. Back into his own zone, Krivchenkov. Shoveled it over near his side, Mark Osborne. And Osborne has it at the blue line. Got it ahead. It was in behind Aubin. Controlled there by Murphy. Murphy on a laid pass, stepping in over the line. Shafronov drop pass, and it's knocked away from Colin Chin. Krivchenkov has the loose puck. Gave it up to Colin Chin. Chin trying to gain control, but Aubin comes in. Lead pass ahead. He got it to Mark Osborne. Osborne tried to fire it in. He was checked from behind. And the loose puck controlled by Shafronov. The other way quickly. Here comes Komets back. Chin on the right side, couldn't get it to Rob Murphy. Hayward had a stick on that. Now Chris Talk looking for Murphy on the far side. Murphy into the corner, centering pass, and Shafronov just failed to get a stick on that. McConaughey turns back with it. Here come the Lumberjacks. Greg Ferahowski at center ice, stepped in over the line. Ferahowski left it there on the far side. Fitzgerald trying to get it back. In behind the goal to McConaughey. He's tied up. Loose puck at the side of the net, knocked into the corner on the far side. And John LeBlanc comes away for the Komets. LeBlanc up through center ice. LeBlanc with a good hit of steam in over the line. Drop pass at the line to Paul Willett. Backhand tried to return the pass, and it was knocked down by Hayward. Hayward clears it up the boards and does clear the zone. McConaughey was hit. It comes back into the four-way in. Sean Evans, rink wide on the far side. He got it to Mitch Messier. His turn, lead pass up off the stick of Willett. And back to play it is Bergfest. Chopped at Fitzgerald, and at the line, McConaughey brings it out center ice. He's got Callender with him. Tried to lay it back to Jock. Now Callender controls and plays that deep into the zone. Jock went down as he tries to get off for the change. Komets the other way again. Now it comes to Mitch Messier. Tried to step around Stefan Bergfest. He got just enough of him and spun Mitch Messier around. The crowd reacted to that. On the near side, Osborne got it free for Len Berry. It bounced off the Len Berry stick. Controlled by Paul Jarrett. Into his own zone, Brian Straub. Ahead to Winnis. Winnis with Andy McBain. Dumps it off the stick of Mitch Messier at the blue line. And Aleem out of his net aggressively plays that into the corner. Andy McBain lays it back in behind the goal. Messier is checked. He's got the puck though. Messier throws it out in front right to the Lumberjack. Mark Osborne left it there for Stevens. Stevens the other way. Right side, he couldn't get it to Osborne. He finally did. Now drop pass. Comes free for Len Berry on the backhand. He'll finally take the shot. Kicked away, and the rebound controlled by the Komets the other way. Here comes Chris Winnis up through center ice. Winnis tried to split the defense, taken down. That was a mistake by Alexei Krivchenkov because he didn't have to throw him to the ice. And it's going to be a penalty to the Lumberjacks, and Fort Wayne goes on the power play with just under 14 minutes to go in the third.
You're right on that play. The puck is going to go between both of them, and all you got to do is just really hold him up until your goaltender can make the play. Krivchenkov stays with him right here and just kind of grabs him by the head and just does a, well, I don't know what they call it in wrestling, but whatever it was, he did it right around the head and throws him down for a, I think the terminology on that, I guess, is he hog-tied him.
That's the official terminology.
It is.
6:08 is the time of the penalty.
I was looking for help there, but you weren't coming in with me on that.
Well, 2 minutes for hog tying at 6:08. It's actually holding.
You know, this is what, if you watch closely, this is where Blaine Locker is different between Patrick Lalime and Philip DeRouville. Locker is much better at handling the puck around the goal and moving it to the players, and Patrick has trouble. He goes to his backhand a lot, and when you go to your backhand a lot, that means your back is to the play, and he sometimes causes himself some problems.
Komets on the power play for the first time here in the third period. Willett has it down low. He got it to Colin Chin. Chin along the boards to the far side, pulls up there, got it to LeBlanc, took the shot, he scored. And LeBlanc has got his second goal of the night. This one comes on the power play, and the Komets have taken the 3-2 lead.
That shot coming right from the slot area. A low shot that again went between Patrick Lalime's leg. They move the puck around the outside, and then they work it into the middle.
Chin along the boards to the far side is the one that feeds John LeBlanc. And LeBlanc beats him in 5-0, I think.
It apparently looks that way. We'll get a better look at it here. It gets by Hayward. Yeah, it went right off of his right pad as he was going down to squeeze the legs together. He just didn't get it down quick enough. Beats him low onto the ice between the legs.
Chin will draw 1 assist, and at 6:21, the Fort Wayne Komets here in the third period take advantage of the penalty by Alexei Krivchenkov and score the power play goal. Now here comes Jock Callender, swept away back to the line. Teen up there, Bergquist with a shot, and a good save by Kuntar, not only to make the save, but glove it and hang on with Fitzgerald on the doorstep. Colin Chen draws 1 of the 2 assists on the goal by John LeBlanc. Paul Willett gets the other. And Fort Wayne now with 2 power play goals and have taken the 3-2 lead.
Shooting the puck from the point. Bergquist had a good shot, but he got it up too high. The guys in front want it down low. They want it down low. They can get a stick on it. They can get a skate on it. It can hit anything.
Take another look at the goal. You're going to see Chin lay it out in front to John LeBlanc, and he just one time actually was going to. Had to settle it down first. And Patrick Delaney looks behind him. Into the corner on the far side now. The Komets with a 1-goal lead. And just over 13 minutes to play. Now coming down is Konstantin Shafronov. Got it to Rob Murphy and over the line. Put the brakes on there. Into the corner. He got it back to Shafronov. He's hit along the boards hard by Bergquist. Loose puck still in behind the goal. Working there is Ross Wilson to keep it alive. Jock Callender couldn't take it off his stick. Out in front, Wilson with a shot. Oh, what a save there by Patrick Delaney as Wilson stepped right back out in front. And that would have been a huge goal for the Fort Wayne Komets. But a good play and a good save by Patrick Delaney. Boy, it was Jock Callender who was all over Wilson, and Wilson was able to hold him off and pull it out in front. Now Drake Berehowski. Sidestep to check at center ice. Got it off to Fitzgerald. Stepped in over the line. Tried to take the snap shot and it was knocked away. And the Komets' Brian Straub comes away. Straub. Lead pass on the right side. It was too far in front of Andy McBain. And Rick Hayward plays it off the glass. McConaughey at center ice. Andy Bizo has it now. Bizo plays it in front of his own bench. And took the hit by Fitzgerald, but got it deep into the Cleveland end. Hayward up the boards. Tipped there by Osborne, but not out. Kept in by the Komets. McBain on the boards on the near side. And the Jacks gain control. Rusty Fitzgerald left it for Osborne. He fired it wide of the net. Jacks chase in after that. In behind the goal, Andy McBain in front of Len Berry. And Berry may have gotten the stick up high on Andy McBain. They're looking at each other. McBain looking around. We've got a penalty coming up, and I believe this is going to be against Len Berry as he get that stick up high, and it's actually a slashing penalty. And we get a little pushing and shoving by Rick Hayward. And a Fort Wayne player, Andy McBain. Let's see, maybe McBain is going to be the one. No, he goes to the bench. So the Jacks are going to be penalized. We'll take a break. Back with more when we return on the Jacks Hockey Network.
It's spring, your time to bloom. It's Sears Days.
The 8:09 mark, and that's going to put the Fort Wayne Komets back on the power play. We've got time to look at our Farmers Insurance save of the game, and it just happened moments ago. Patrick Delaney with a big stop out in front. Watch this one. A scramble in front of the goal, and it was Wilson who pulled it out in front.
He really did. He stayed with them right here. Gets the pad out in front, makes the save, and look how quickly he gets up. And again, he got up square to the puck.
Because of where it came, that was a huge save, an important one to keep the Komets within a goal or within reach. The Jacks just down a goal, and that's our Farmers Insurance save of the game. But now Fort Wayne back on the power play as Lenny Berry is into the box. And the Komets will try to put another nail in the Lumberjack coffin with a power play goal here. They've scored twice with a man advantage. Colin Chen at center ice now. He's hit there by Mike Stevens. And Osborne lays it back into his own zone. Armstrong up the boards. Loose puck. Stevens just failed to break down with that. Now up ahead it comes to Colin Chen. He's got to wait for his teammates to come on side. And it's controlled and laid back to the blue line. This is Sean Evans. Near side Wertman. He collides there with John LeBlanc. And Wertman still in his own zone. Up he comes right up the middle at center ice. Left wing, he got it to Evans. He'll fire it in around the boards. Into the corner on the right side, Colin Chen. Overskates that. The Jacks got a piece of it but couldn't clear yet. Kevin Wertman holds it in along the boards. Into the corner now. Bill Armstrong has it pinned in up against the boards. It's free though. Back out to the line, Wertman. The other side, Evans. Fake the shot down low. Woodard tried to dump the puck out in front. Mike Stevens intercepted that and couldn't clear. Kept to the line by Evans. And along the boards at the base of the circle, this is Paul Willett. Down low he goes to Colin Chen, and the return pass does bang away from Paul Willett, not center ice. 50 seconds left in the power play. Turning is John LeBlanc. LeBlanc left it there and goes for the change. Moving into Shafronov. Couldn't pull past a man. Now Bullett's got a man in front and tipped just wide of the goal. Loose puck in behind the goal. It's Sean Evans down low deep who had the scoring chance. And the Lumberjacks finally tried to clear and fired it up over the glass and out of play. Keeps the faceoff in the Cleveland zone.
That's as quick as I've seen Patrick Lemay move all year to his right, getting that right leg over and making just a great play on this play right here. With the all alone in front. Look at Patrick spreading it out, Eagle. Great play by Patrick.
He lost his goal stick, so the Jacks really had to gain control in the corner and get it out. But you're right, Patrick did the splits, and boy, you got to be in great shape to do that. Jacks win control of the faceoff, dump it all the way down. 30 seconds left in the Fort Wayne power play. Komets with a 3-2 lead. They skated 5-on-4 though. And out comes Brian Straub at center ice. Straub to the blue line. And Murphy was in offside, and that brings the whistle and the stoppage of play. And maybe a break for the Lumberjacks.
Lumberjacks kill his penalty off. Got 10 minutes left to go in the hockey game.
Don't forget the Jacks' final game of the regular season tomorrow night. It's fan appreciation night. There are still plenty of seats still available at Gund Arena. 7 o'clock face-off, and that should be a good one. And the Jacks may very well need a victory against Atlanta tomorrow night to lock up home ice in the first round. Now in behind the goal, Messier plays it into the corner on the far side. Straub back to the line. Guy Dupuis tried to shovel it at the net. It's deflected into the corner. Rick Hayward holds up his man. Now Murphy got a stick on that. Shafronov dug it free at the side of the goal. Trying to pull it out in front. Still a loose puck there, and Hayward got a piece of that. Goes to the boards to the far side. Berry up ahead to counter. Len Berry got it back. Left wing pass bounced away from Christian. He's got it again though. Left it for Len Berry. Berry turned away from a check. Down low. He got it to Callender with a shot. He scores! Jock Callender on the setup from Len Berry, and he put it underneath the glove of Les Kutar, and a big goal for the Jacks to tie the game as Andy Bizzo now tries to come in and draw the Jacks into a penalty.
What a play, what a shot by Jock Callender. Right-handed shot, he beats the goaltender over the left side. Jock Callender, there wasn't anything there to shoot at. The goaltender just shook his head and said, hey, I had the angle, did everything right, I was square to the puck, and this guy beats me. Just beats him right over the left side of the glove.
And this is what Jock Callender has done. He's now scored goals in 7 straight games. Jock Callender continues his torrid pace with 11 goals in the last 9 games overall.
Jeff Christian made a heads-up play going in deep. He saw he didn't have the lane. It was taken away from him, so he looked for Len Berry. He dropped it behind. Len Berry found Jock Callender, and you found the right guy when you got Jock Callender alone in front of the net.
10:27 is going to be the time of the 42nd goal of the year for Jock Callender. Len Berry will draw an assist. Boy, has this guy taken it on his shoulders and led this team.
You know, Jock Callender's father made the trip with us over here, Tim, today, and he's in from Regina, Saskatchewan, and you know, very proud of his what his sons have accomplished in hockey. Jock's older brother played professionally also, and also played for the Lumberjacks when Larry Gordon had the team in Muskegon.
And there is no sign that Jock Callender has slowed down. In his later years, this is only the 3rd time in his IHL career that he scored 40 goals or more in a season, and he just keeps going.
Well, actually, I think he slowed down a little bit, and I think that's what throws everybody off.
Puck into the corner. Bill Armstrong trying to tie up a man. It's Andy Bizzo. Bizzo hit the side of the net with that. Andy Bizzo continues to work, and we've got a scrum in front of the crease. Patrick Lemay is down. It looks like he might be shaken up.
Well, Bizzo going right for the net, taking Patrick Lalem's feet right out from underneath him. He's going to drive. He's going to keep going. Armstrong's working him pretty hard.
He's going to draw a penalty, but
and now he continues on. Now he just kicks. Watch him get the stick in there, and he pokes the right into the groin of the goaltender, Patrick Laleme. And I guess that's where he gets his 500 and some minutes in penalty.
And he's going back to the box. It looks like Patrick's going to be all right. Dave Zanobi from the peak at Marymount trots out. But Patrick put his glove up to say, I'm going to be okay, and a bit of a sigh of relief. But Andy Bizzo goes to the box, and the Lumberjacks are going to get a power play chance with a chance to perhaps pull in front. You think, I think he's going to put up curtains in there because he's been there a while.
Well, I want to tell you, Rick Hayward, right from the Lumberjacks bench, is pointing to Bizzo and challenging him when he gets on the ice. Bizzo wants no part of it. He won't even look at Hayward.
Dave Farish a little upset about the penalty, but
Boy, the replay showed clearly that he stuck Patrick.
Well, you know, here's a situation. Early in the game, Rick Patterson wanted the referee to come over and explain something to him. The referee wouldn't do it. Now the home coach gets the same situation, opens up the bench door, which is an automatic too, by the way, goes over and stands in front, and nothing happens.
Well, the Lumberjacks with a power play chance here. Andy Bizot, I believe he got unsportsmanlike conduct. Actually, it's a slashing penalty at 10:47, and the Jacks are going to get their second power play opportunity. Well, maybe spearing, you could have called that. It ends up a slash. And
I don't know how he got a slash out of that. Anyways, we'll take it.
Lumberjacks now skated 5-on-4 in behind the goal. It's knocked away by the goaltender. Kuntar into the corner. The Lumberjacks looking for it, and they finally hold it along the boards. Fort Wayne does for the face-off, and that'll keep the face-off in the Fort Wayne end. And this is an opportunity for the Lumberjacks to put on all their big guns. And I believe Len Berry's going to line up at the point on the power play. Well, the Jacks still have plenty of power play or games at Gund Arena left even after tomorrow night. Playoff tickets for the Eastern Conference quarterfinals are on sale at Gund Arena, Ticketmaster, or by phone at 241-5555. They still haven't locked up home ice advantage. But if they do, they're going to play games 1 and 2 of that first round series at Gund Arena. But again, that's still a big if, and work to be done to clinch that home ice spot. Birahowski along the boards. He got it down to Rusty Fitzgerald down low. Now it's Jock Calendar into the corner. McConaughey sets up in front. Back out to the right point. Birahowski back to Calendar. Top circle. Calendar moving to the side of the net. Took the shot. McConaughey got a piece of that. Went straight up into the air on the glove by Les Kuntar and hangs on.
Boy, the work in front of the net by Dave Mikhailuk standing there, and he and Torque going to it in front of the net. If we can see Dave Mikhailuk in front, you can watch him. As Jock Calendar drives for the net, you'll notice Dave Mikhailuk in there, and they're just going at it, just giving each other the stick.
Mikhailuk in that way reminds me a little of a Dino Cicerelli. He's made a living with that kind of play in front of the net. Takes a beating, but he gets some points.
That's a very good observation. They're both tough hockey players, both very strong.
Minute 33 in the Jacks power play. Calendar in to take the draw again against Colin Chin. Calendar controls, lays it there for Fitzgerald, now to the line. Drake Birahowski winds up, took the shot up high. Kuntar made the save, and he may be shaken up. He took that high off the right shoulder, and he's a little bit slow getting up.
Guys shoot the puck from the point. You got to keep it down. Birahowski, you know, with all the talent he has, and he wants to get back in the National Hockey League, and that's where he's going to get back as a specialty team player. And if he can learn to keep the puck down from the point.
Tell you, this is where the Jacks miss a Corey Foster, too.
Well, and a Peter Allen. Yeah, they definitely miss guys like that.
Well, the Jacks are hoping that Peter Allen may even be ready for the start of that Michigan series. And boy, would that be good news. Minute 25 left in the penalty time to Andy Bizot. We haven't added up his penalty minutes yet, but he is so far ahead of anybody else in this league. Now spun around was Andy McBain. Loose puck controlled by the Jacks. Len Berry to Calendar. Calendar turned away from a check. Big battle at the side of the net between Mikhailuk and the Fort Wayne defenseman. Now back to Len Berry. Got it free top circle. Calendar moving in. Calendar took the shot. Mikhailuk got a piece of that. And it's knocked away. And here come the Komets the other way. Shorthanded for another minute. Ryan Straub fires it in on goal and didn't miss by much. And the Lumberjacks will set up again in behind their own net. 52 seconds left in the power play time. Len Berry right up the middle at center ice. Berry shovels it in and chases it down into the corner. Berry tried to step around Andy McBain. He took him down. Loose puck in along the ice. McBain throws that back in behind his own net, but Fitzgerald's got it. Fitzgerald trying to play it back out to the line, but intercepted by Paul Willett. And now two players collide, and a penalty coming up to Mike Stevens, and thereafter, actually, it's Rusty Fitzgerald, and Guy Dupuis goes after Rusty Fitzgerald. And they're at the blue line. The gloves have dropped, and neither is able to get a hand free. Fitzgerald has to defend himself as Guy Dupuis came after him. And Fitzgerald tried to get the right hand free. I'm not sure if there'll be an instigating penalty, but if there is, I think it's got to go to Guy Dupuis.
Well, not only that, the other player from the Fort Wayne tried to kick Fitzgerald's feet from underneath him.
Guy Dupuis and Fitzgerald never really got any punches thrown in that little melee, but this is going to be an interesting call by referee Dean Warren.
Well, Fitzgerald's going to get the initial call. He's going to get a 2-minute slashing penalty. And then Dupuis comes after him. I think Dupuis got a little shock.
I'll tell you what, we're going to take a commercial break while they sort these out. And we'll have more from the Memorial Coliseum in Fort Wayne when we return on the Jacks Hockey Network.
When you change every...
But he figures out, Dean Warren figures out a way to keep Fort Wayne on the power play because Fitzgerald got 5 minutes. Here's a look at the play.
As they're in the boards and they're skating away, if the camera was able to pick it up, Rusty turns around and he just two-hands him right there. He gets him two-handed. And I think there was just a little bit of a look at him, look at the referee and say, look I went down. Come on, give me a break on that one. But he drew the 2 minutes, and that's what started all the practice.
Well, I initially thought he got a double minor for slashing, but they've got 5 minutes up on the clock. So is that a 5-minute major slashing penalty?
And he is out of the hockey game. If it is a 5-minute major, he's gone. And there's no one in the penalty box for the Lumberjacks.
Well, even if he gets 2 and then the 5 minutes for fighting, or if he got the double minor, he'd be done anyway.
Well, what's interesting here, Tim, is the Lumberjacks are going to go 4-on-3 for the next 30 seconds here. A good opportunity for 30 seconds for the Lumberjacks.
Well, again, the sound system, because we're on the opposite side of the penalty box, or the press box, so we can't really hear these calls, but they've got 5 minutes up for Fitzgerald, and the Jacks do skate it now, 4-on-3 for 30 seconds. Here comes Len Berry from behind his own goal. Right side, he got it to Drake Berehowski. Berehowski plays that in behind the net. Bouncing puck into the corner. It'll be played there by Paul Jarrett. He can't get it out. Mike Stevens on the loose puck. Trying to get it back to the line to Len Berry. Left it in the corner for Callender. Now Callender got it to Berry. The other side to Berehowski. Drake Berehowski with the puck in the right point. Penalty about to expire. Len Berry one-timer. He scores! Len Berry scores the power play goal. The Jacks have taken the 4-3 lead.
Well, not only that, 2 seconds to go in that penalty, so the Fort Wayne are still going to have a man in the penalty box. That's a big goal for the Lumberjacks, and it comes at a great time with 2 seconds to go in that other penalty.
And Lenny Berry continues his streak. He actually did so on the Callender goal with an assist, but Berry scores the goal, his 29th of the year for the Lumberjacks, and it's 4-3 Cleveland.
What a setup by Berehowski for the one-timer. He just laid it across. The puck was flat. It had good movement on it. It was spinning in the right direction. Len Berry one-timed it right between the goaltender's legs.
And we told you the Lumberjacks' power play numbers against Fort Wayne were key, and they've got 2 power play goals here tonight.
Well, there's some discussion as to who comes out of the penalty box.
Berry gets his 29th of the power play from Drake Berehowski. Time of the goal is 12:46. Not sure if they awarded a second assist or not on that. But it will be now. 1 penalty comes off, so you're right. It was huge that there was still penalty time on that first call, because it'll be a 4-on-4 now for 1:32. And then Fort Wayne's going to have a 3-minute power play.
Berehowski just made a great pass, just laying that puck right out there, had the right spin on it, and Len Berry just one-timed it right between the goaltender's legs.
Berehowski has 2 assists tonight. The Lumberjacks lead it by a goal. Callender with a shot up over the goal. Out of the near side, Rick Hayward. Got a stick on the apple, controlled by Kevin Wortman. And Wortman in his own end. 4-on-4. The Jacks up by a goal, 4-3. And this is the Lumberjacks' first lead of the contest. Evans on the far side. Plays it ahead onto the stick of Mitch Messier. Left it for LeBlanc. He's in over the line. Drop pass. Messier sailed that up over the goal. Into the corner on the far side. Now it's tipped back in behind the net. Messier let that go to the corner on the near side. John Callender controls for the Jacks and bangs it out. 50 seconds left on the 4-on-4. Now Messier in over the line. Messier shoveled that to the corner. Murphy in behind the goal. He's checked there by Alexei Krivchenkov. Murphy's got it free, pulls it out in front, and the centering pass is knocked away by Callender. He tried to get it to Paul Jarrett. Brian Straub back to Murphy, off his stick to Mitch Messier. Messier with Straub in front, or Murphy going to the front of the net. It's whistled down as an offside, and boy, Messier didn't think so.
You know, the Lumberjacks don't have anybody in the penalty box. And if that ever happens, if they were able to kill the penalty off, they wouldn't be able to send a 5th player out there, because the player has to come out of the penalty box area.
Well, eventually they'll put somebody over there, though.
I think maybe I see Len Berry heading over that way. No, he's going over to talk about probably another assist on that goal. But yes, somewhere along the line, Coach Patterson's going to have to send somebody in the box because of that penalty. You cannot come off the bench. He has to come out of the penalty box area.
Well, and you don't want to do so yet because that means you can't use that player, right?
That's correct. But I've seen it happen where they have gone through that, where they done such a good job, and then you get caught.
28 seconds left on the penalty time to Guy Dupuis, and then the Lumberjacks will be shorthanded for 3 minutes, barring other calls. 6:05 to go in the third period. Jacks with a 4-3 lead as they try to clinch home ice advantage in the first round of the playoffs. Konstantin Shafronov took a slash from Len Berry and went down. No penalty. Crowd reacts. Up ahead, it eludes Jeff Christian back into the Comet end. Paul Jarrett's going to get there first. Pulled it away from Christian. Now tipped it free, and here comes Konstantin Shafronov. Actually, Shafronov got turned around. Christian into play. He's got Len Berry at the blue line. Christian stepped in over the line, winds up with a shot, and he fired it just wide. Along the boards to the far side, it's tipped back out center ice to Shafronov. Shafronov trying to step around Drake Verahowski. And it's played back to the Fort Wayne blue line. This is a power play for the Fort Wayne Komets, their third of the period. In behind the goal now. Mark Osborne collided with Les Kuntar, the goaltender. Now Paul Willett at center ice. Stepped it over the line. Got it off to Messier, and he dumped it in behind the goal. That'll come to Kevin Wortman in the corner. Wortman's got a man in behind the goal. That's Paul Willett. Behind the net, he's tied up by Alexei Krivchenkov, and it's cleared around the boards and out. With 2:20 left in the penalty time to Rusty Fitzgerald. His major penalty, and is... all we can tell is he got the major for slashing along with the 5-minute fighting. That's our guess. Another slash the Jacks may have gotten away with. The crowd a little unhappy. Now here comes Paul Willett. Willett in over the line. He's got a man with him. He dropped it there for John LeBlanc. On the near side, Evans return pass tipped just wide of the goal. Bouncing puck on the side of the net, and Hayward with a chance to clear, knocked down by a high stick, and as he touches that, that'll be whistled down, and the faceoff will come all the way back into the Fort Wayne zone with 1:48 left in the penalty.
Good job by the Lumberjacks killing this penalty off. The Fort Wayne players are pressed into making quick passes, and they're not making the good pass.
I want to get this in the event that the Lumberjacks clinch home ice advantage in the first round of the playoffs. The Jacks again would have home games in games 1 and 2 and 5 if necessary. The playoff series would begin, again, this is if the Jacks have home ice Friday, April the 19th. That's game A, and then game B on Saturday, April the 20th. Both games at 7 o'clock. Tickets are still available. Now, if you're a season ticket holder and you purchased playoff packages, you will be receiving your tickets in the mail in the next couple of days. For more information, feel free to call your personal Jacks ticket sales representative at 420-0000. Well, we've got plenty of exciting action coming up at Gund Arena, even beyond tomorrow night. Now Kevin Wortman bounces that side of the net. Lalim out of his goal, but he misplayed that. It bounced away from him. Drake Verahowski is tied up in behind the goal. 3 Fort Wayne players were behind the net. Now back out to the right point, Evans. Minute 26 in the power play. Murphy goes down low. Centering pass, and they can't get a shot off yet, and Callender picks it up and clears it away from Kevin Wortman. 3:58 to play in regulation time. The Jacks are up by a goal, but they're down a man for another minute 10. Osborne checks a man at center ice. Ross Wilson went down. It's banged into the Cleveland zone. Krivchenkov will rip it around the boards. Wilson tried to knock that down. It is kept into the point, though. Wilson kept it free. Poked that to the corner. Back out to the left point. Now this is Chris Talk. Quick shot and steered away by Patrick Lalim. In behind the net, Paul Willett is checked. Now Wilson has it again. Back out to the point. Talk with another shot wide of the net. Willett out in front with a stop by Patrick Lalim as Willett had another bang at it. Shafronov in behind the goal. High in the slot. Talk with a shot. They score. It's tipped in front, and the Komets have scored to tie the game. And I believe this is going to be Paul Willett who gets the goal. And for Paul Willett, it's a big one. His 24th of the year to tie the game at 4. It comes on the power play with only 3:22 left.
That's a 5-minute major. I'm not so sure that the Lumberjacks will be allowed to have their man come out of the penalty box. But here again is the action. Willett hangs in front. Patrick again makes 2 real good saves here. As he's getting up, Kortrinkov knocks Willett down. The puck is going to come loose, and it's going to come out into the slot area. A shot's going to be taken, and Willett is falling, and I think he tips it as he's falling right by Patrick Lalim.
Chris Talk took the shot, so it'll either be Talk or the man in front. Willett is the side of the net, and I thought it was Willett who got a piece of that.
Well, that's the first save that Patrick makes on him, and now the puck is going to come back to almost the same place in the same shot And right there, he tips it, and it goes over top of Patrick's right shoulder.
We'll wait and see who they give it to. It is a power play goal. It is Paul Willett who gets the goal, number 24 on the year. Into the zone. They're still on the power play for 24 seconds. Quick shot just wide of the net, off the stick of John LeBlanc and up the boards. And you were right, because of the major penalty, the man does not come out of the box. So Fitzgerald still got 15 seconds to serve. We're tied at 4. Under 3 minutes to play now. In regulation time, and here comes Mitch Messier to the Jacks blue line. Over the line, he got the return pass, took the backhand shot. Knocked away by Patrick Deline. And Fort Wayne is going to keep it in. Wertman lays it back in behind the net. Spinning away is Mitch Messier to the side of the net. And it comes near side into the corner. Jacks look tired at this point. Mitch Messier trying to pull away from Jock Callender. Berehowski with a chance to clear, and he does get it out center ice. Penalty time has expired, but the Jacks need to have a whistle to get a man on the ice. So the Jacks, in effect, are still short.
No, we're still 5-on-5. He's allowed out of the penalty box, Tim.
2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I miscounted.
Yeah, we're all right.
So now an icing call against the Lumberjacks as Fort Wayne comes back to touch. We're going to take a break with just over 2 minutes to play in regulation time. Jacks and the Komets tied at 4, and we're back after these words on the Jacks Hockey Network.
In the hand.
Wayne drew even. In behind the goal, Konstantin Shafronov plays it back to the point. It was Chris Tuck who took this shot, and they say, yep, Willett got a stick on it. So Shafronov and Talk will draw the assist.
That puck actually looked like it was going by the net when Willett tipped it. Patrick tried to get a piece of it with his right pad, but couldn't do so, and Willett was standing there, and he just tipped it up into the right or the left-hand corner.
Fort Wayne, 3 power play goals here tonight, including 2 here in the third period. Now at the face-off, another shot, a save by Lalime as he flashed out that pad. Andy McPayne in the corner. 2 minutes to play now in regulation time. Ross Wilson trying to pull away from Drake Berehowski deep in the Cleveland zone. Berehowski couldn't get his skate on that. It finally comes free, and Lenny Berry was going to pull away from the man, and he was tied up. And the Jacks pick it up in their own end, and Callender plays it high into the air and out center ice. Straub's firing it right back in. Chasing that down is Armstrong. He chops at that. Couldn't get it by Chris Winnis. Armstrong with another chance up the boards. Osborne left it there for Len Berry. Here come the Lumberjacks. Berry, Osborne, Callender. Berry shoveled it into the zone, but he didn't get it deep, and Paul Jarrett plays it. In around the boards in the far side, Chris Winnis has it. Minute 25 left. Here come the Fort Wayne Komets. Over the line is Colin Shin. Drop past Shafronov. He's tied up, never did get a shot off it. Lead right there. Here comes Fort Wayne. Evans has got a man in front. Oh, what a save there by Ladine. And he got another one. That was headed into the net, and somehow Patrick kept it out. With a minute 10 left, back come the Lumberjacks. Osborne tees up a shot, saved there by Les Kumtar, but I'm going to have to see this play again on the other side, because how they didn't get that in over Patrick Lalime. If he reached around and got a glove on that, that's got to be one of the best saves all year.
Well, again, the mistake was made at the blue line where you lose the puck and they go down 2-on-1, and Patrick just makes a beautiful play right here. Defenseman leaves his feet. Patrick's all alone. There's 2 of them. There's the first save. Now watch this shot come up. Hits the post, he reaches behind him on his back and keeps the puck out.
Hayward dives to try to help out, and he ended up on Patrick's head. You can't come, and it closes the net.
There it is again. Watch the angle on this time. The puck goes up, it'll hit the corner of the post. Patrick turns around, and the puck bounces, and everybody's diving for it. Now it's just a melee out there.
Bob, one thing that shouldn't go unnoticed. That's a goal if Patrick doesn't get his goal stick on the poke check.
Right here.
Right there.
Yeah, right. Gets it up over top. Oh, that's good action. That's good camera work right there.
You bet. Puck into the corner with a minute left now in the third period. Regulation time, we're tied at 4. Down low it goes to McConaughey. He's got Christian in the crease. McConaughey tried to stuff it. And on the far side, it's dug free. Into the corner near side, Callender. Jock Callender controls, trying to throw it at the net. And McConaughey went down, and here come the Komets back. Fort Wayne led by Paul Willett. Right wing pass, Mitch Messier. Messier threw it at the net and hit the side of the goal with that. And Christian throws the Fort Wayne player into the net, and that knocks it off its mooring. And are we going to get a penalty here? With 40 seconds left, I think Christian's been boxed.
Yeah, I think he has too. And unbelievable. You're coming back with the guy. He's going to get a 2-minute cross-checking penalty.
Boy, this is a call with 40 seconds left in a game like this. I really don't know about.
Well, the guy the player from Fort Wayne adds a lot to it by jumping at the goal net and pushing it off the moorings.
But ordinarily, at this point of the contest, you don't make this call.
Well, you do if you're in Fort Wayne.
Wow. It's a cross-checking penalty to Jeff Christian.
Well,
and as important as anything else is this goes to a shootout, Christian can't partake.
That's correct. Well, the Lumberjacks have fought hard here tonight. They've come from behind. We're ahead 4-3, but for the most part.
Look at this shot. The Jacks are all in a huddle in front of Patrick Delane.
Well, you've got the ace out there taking the face off.
Callender out there with Osborne, Bill Armstrong, and Drake Berehowski. 40 seconds to play. Fort Wayne on the power play. They've got 3 power play goals, though, tonight. Callender plays it ahead. And out comes Mark Osborne. Ozzy's just going to lay it into the zone. Took a hit, then went after Kevin Wertman. Watch those two. Here comes Sean Evans back. 27 seconds left in the third period. Evans took the shot, and Halim had to steer that into the corner. Berehowski chops at that. Couldn't get it out. Kevin Wertman kept it in. Comes near side to Evans. Evans tried to fire it at the net. Net saved there by Patrick Delane. Loose puck still in the Cleveland zone. Into the corner there. Now LeBlanc tip free. What a save Lalime made on Paul Willett. And Osborne with a chance to clear. That should do it. With 5 seconds left, he clears the zone. And these two teams will go to a shootout as the buzzer sounds. We're tied at 4 after 3 periods of play. And you can't ask for better action than in the final half of that third period. Wow.
Great play. Great saves by Patrick Lalime, hanging in there, being tough tonight.
Here's a look at that last save.
Saves right here. Right here. There's one right there. What a big save right at the end, getting those pads closed on that tip in.
So both coaches now will put together a list of 5 players, and we will head to a shootout. And these two teams have played 1 shootout game between them this year. Fort Wayne won that. The Jacks 11-12 in shootout games this season. The Fort Wayne Komets are 11-7. But the Jacks 2-5 in their last 7. Take a quick look at our Revco third period scoring summary. The Fort